Hello and welcome to episode 402 of DCP plus SideQuest.
Woohoo!
We got some stuff to talk about today. We started talking about it before the show. We were just like, why don't we start talking on the show? Why don't we just do that?
Weightgate, the Randal scandal.
The Randal
scandal. I like it.
Randal the scandal.
Randal the scandal. That's the name
This
of the
week in
podcast.
What Are People Upset About?
This one?
The best drama is math drama. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Math drama. I like that too.
You want to just talk about it right away?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
talk
do it.
about what you've been doing. Okay.
Might as well.
Yeah.
What's up?
So this is potentially the biggest scandal in Destiny history.
That can't be.
And
That can't
well,
be.
so I would say next to the XP scandal that happened, you know, where they were like making your
yes.
XP slower.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
I
was a
forget
bad
the
one.
details of whatever that was.
I will say, I'm not saying scandal as in like Bungie is doing something bad, because I
this is,
genuinely
in quote, scandal.
I
headline.
don't believe that this is like Bungie doing something, but it is very interesting. So if you're not up to gate, that's a Freudian slip because it's
Perfect.
called. If you're not up to
I
gate,
just stick with that was perfect. No notes.
if you're not up to gate, so people are farming for a grenade launcher in the new dungeon, right? It's really good. Grenade launchers are really good. The perks are really good. It's the best thing ever. So people are farming really hard for this thing. And people started saying, are certain perks weighted? Like, what is going on? Because there's a lot of people farming for it.
Yeah,
and
the
no
chill
one's
inhibitor.
getting it.
It's that one, yeah.
Chill inhibitor. And no one's freaking getting it. So they're like, what is going on? Bungie checks. They're like, we checked. We don't have any waiting. There was even a Bungie employee who was part of the layoffs who came out on Twitter and said, we literally don't have anything that, like, it doesn't exist. Like, we can't do it. It's physically not possible for us to do it. So we're like, okay. But then there is a guy who has this website where you can sign in and you can say, I am farming for a gun or whatever. And it will track every single drop that you get of it, what the role is. And then, so a bunch of people did that. And they found a very clear pattern. Like, so clear that you'd be like, there's no way that this is just random. So stick with me here, because I should have printed something out to show you.
Yeah.
Quick.
Do you need
quick
some red
question.
string and some thumbtacks?
I do.
Didn't Light GG already do this? Like, what's the difference
Yeah.
between this website and Light GG?
Light GG tracks like what weapons people have in their like,
vaults.
yeah, what they have.
Or
Whereas the
on
other
the-
one will track like every single drop you get if you say I'm farming for this. So even if you delete it, it's still in like, you know, the data that you got.
Yeah, where Light GG is kind of showing you the popular roles, but also technically the trend would have been there, but maybe hidden because people are deleting the
Right.
less
Favorable.
Yeah, but
less
again,
favorable roles, right?
if I understand the difference with roles people have, you're looking at a percentage of roles people have, not the chance for getting the role. And that is the big difference here.
Right. So you can look at the data a little bit from light.gg and see like somewhat of a pattern, but it's not perfect because it's just tracking what people have on them. So what people have found is that, so you have two column perks, right? We have column A and column B. Let's say you have Rampage in column A, and you want to get Kill Clip, which is in column B, and it's right next to it. You know when you look on light.gg and there's two columns and the perks?
Yeah.
It's right next to it here.
From like
that
top
is
to
very,
bottom.
very likely that you'll get it. If it's a perk
According
that's like
to this data, yeah.
down here, diagonally, it's also pretty likely that you'll get it. But the further that you get away from the column A perk, downwards in column B, the less likely it is that you'll get it. To the point that they found it's a 1 in 425 chance to get the perk that's the furthest away from that column A perk.
Oh, wow.
Big difference.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you can see on the graph, like you can see clear diagonal,
Like just patterns, yeah. Like when they graph it, you can see the pattern of.
You can see it, and it's like there will be one perk combination that one person has gotten or 0 people have gotten out of like 800 drops.
Wow.
And you can see Yeah. So now people have been going, and I'm sure the whole community now is probably using that site and just farming whatever and tracking it. So this basically, people were like, okay, maybe they're not weighting it. But so they went and looked at some other weapons, and they found that it's also the case with perk combinations that aren't desirable, right? Because you'd think that if Bungie's weighting it intentionally, they're going to be weighting the ones that are like really popular way less, so you keep farming for it.
Right.
But this pattern also exists for like really crappy perk combinations, just based on where they are in
Where
the
they are.
columns is
Yeah.
how often they're dropping.
Yeah.
That's
and
so-
we
crazy.
should.
How
we should
many
read
years?
what-
It really is.
How many years have we gone where there just
Well, that's what
hasn't
people are asking.
been
That's
a
the thing.
favorable like combination that everyone wants and can't get? Like I feel like
Yeah.
this has
So-
come up because
so-
there has been a really
That's
good
the
combo
thing,
that
yeah.
nobody can get.
So maybe before that, we should
Exactly.
read Bungie. They had a couple responses, but what they had said about this says regarding the further reports of perk weighting. While we've confirmed that there is no intentional perk weighting on weapons within our own content setup, so they say it's not intentional. Bungie continues, we are now investigating a potential issue within our code for how RNG perks are generated. Many thanks to all players who have been contributing to data collection across the community. This data has been monumentally helpful with our investigation, and we are currently working on internal simulations to confirm your findings. This was at about 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, October 24th. So we'll see what they say. But yeah, they say it's not intentional, and they say thank you. I even saw they
I don't
responded.
believe it's intentional.
They
I
responded
think
to Light GG, it was probably Dylan at this point. He's like, thank you, whoever responded.
Yeah.
I think most people don't think it's intentional now, but I think the view now is like that still really sucks because it means that we've maybe spent millions of hours across a community farming for something that is
Almost
statistically
impossible.
pretty improbable for you
Yeah.
to get. Yeah. Now I'm not gonna like be mad at anyone who set up the code. Like making
Furious.
hard coding like pure actual RNG total randomness into code is really, really hard.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the way that someone came up with this is like some kind of system with like where the column and the perks are.
Someone who may not
Regards
even
the
work there
API.
anymore, right? It's like
Maybe not, yeah.
There's been a lot of
Yeah.
turnover at Bungie, so it's like
There's been a lot, yeah.
like who knows if the person who like wrote that system still works there, and if they wrote something intentionally, if they pass that information along to their successor.
I wonder whether something came up because remember there wasn't random rolls when Destiny 2 first launched, right?
Yeah,
Like I wonder whether
True, yeah.
those column perks were those common perks tied together, and then they had to go back and like retrofit the RNG system into it, and then there was some remnant left over of like of the normally rolled perks on there.
Yeah. I mean,
crazy.
We should start with how do you guys feel about if it has been going on for years, let's say 2 or 3 years, and you've got drops yourself, I'm sure. Maybe you've chased stuff. How do you feel given this potential impact and knowledge?
I don't feel upset, but I do think it's really bad for a game that's a loot and shooter that there is such an error in the RNG.
Yeah, I think Paul Tassi said pretty much the same thing. Is like this is a core part of like what the game is. So I'm not like mad necessarily, but it's not acceptable. Is essentially where he landed.
That's definitely where I sit. Yeah, because it does give you the illusion, like. I mean, this is part of gambling too, right? This is why you have to like announce odds when you start putting real money with gambling because you need to know the percentage chance of getting something.
You do,
and as a player, you're not gambling because you're not putting real money in, but you're gambling with your time, and you need to understand whether it's feasible for you to get something before you put a whole day of grinding into the game, and that's kind of like the mental thing you go through when you play loot and shooter games. Is like. Is this juice worth the squeeze? Do I want to do the dungeon X amount of times to get the roll? And you kind of need to understand, is it completely random? Is it weighted? Is it not weighted? What's the chances of me getting this? So I can definitely understand people who have spent a long time doing it and feel angry about it because...
Sorry. I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
especially right now this season, and I haven't done it, but if you were trying to get chill inhibitor, and if this is all accurate and true, and it's that I saw a bunch of people saying, "God, am I crazy? I can't get this role." You know, those people, you're mad. You're like, normally they don't experience that because this combination probably doesn't happen as often, right? Of where the role you want
Exactly.
falls
Yeah.
into this territory. I'm sure it has, but there's a reason I think it hasn't come up in conversation. So to me, yeah, those people, what I would say is it'd be awesome if Bungie had a way to tell if you were grinding in the dungeon. Maybe they like have a package. You know, I've been playing Diablo lately, so it's like just give them a cache of stuff that would be either potential proper roles for this now based on how much you've played. Maybe they can do something retroactive. That would be awesome for maybe just this season at a minimum. But to me, what's interesting is what you were getting at, Myelin, is well, number one, I don't feel anything about it because to me, it's still the RNG, even if it was broken. My point being is like, well, you still had a chance to get it. It just was super rare, and we all went through that, and like, didn't bother me that much in the past. There's so many good weapons and crafted weapons, you know, like I haven't felt that the community's had a problem. I'm sure there's some specific issues though for speedrunners and you know, PvP players and stuff. But moving on from that, I don't personally care that much, and I hope they just fix this quickly. It does expose, if true, like what you were getting at, Myelin, is like, wait a second. How did you know that the top like 2 or 3 roles, there was no testing that it was this broken? You know, they don't have seemingly a system in place to kind of verify that this isn't a problem, which that is concerning.
Yeah,
That's
but I mean,
true.
if you
You
think
would-
about it, like
yeah.
you'd set that RNG, like once you built that RNG system, you would test it, and then
You would do these simulations,
you would
right?
do those simulations when
That
you
they're
set
doing
it
right
up.
now.
But then
Yeah.
it's like then you move on to the next project, and if it appears
Yeah.
to be working fine, like do you ever go back and test it again?
Maybe not.
Yeah. And I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
you know,
Yeah.
I've never made a looter shooter, and
No,
like
me
everything
neither.
is easier to say than but you'd think that would be an important role like you were getting at. You're like, wait
Yeah.
a second. Don't you just run like spreadsheet on spreadsheet as it's heading towards release as part of the QA? And I'm sure there's somebody at Bungie who's here and they're like, dude, are you kidding me? You have no idea. But it sounds like something we really need. And you know, I don't know if you want to move on to this part, but I'm like, you know what though? Nice problem to have. And sorry again for everybody who's experienced the current seasonal problem. It sucks. Sorry to laugh, but oh wow, we're in real Destiny weeds now. You gotta love it.
Yeah, that's true.
True. yeah.
But the nice problem to have, the silver lining, is like, ooh, they're gonna be all over RNG now. This is a big, like, if true, is a huge issue. And not only will they address it, I think they will be like task team. They're gonna do all the things we're talking about and more.
It'd be cool
And-
if they did one of those like real like fire teams and just focused on this and were like super upfront about it, because it would be
Yeah.
kind of fun to read about this in an upcoming TWAB, is like
Yeah,
what
Weightgate.
exactly the problem was, when it was introduced, and how it was
I
introduced.
think they probably
then-
would.
That would be great, because it'd be really interesting. I'm sure they'd get like negative feedback on it because sadly, you know, gamers kind of can suck about that kind of thing. But you know, for the less toxic among us, it'd be fun to read about like, hey, okay, so here's what happened is we designed this system back in, you know,
Yeah.
let's say
No, I-
2019, but then we made a small modification to it in 2020 without realizing what had happened, and now we have just like geography based RNG system.
Again, if this is accurate, I think you're hitting on the truth of it, which is they kind of need to do a full like, hey, this has been going on this long. Just be fully transparent. It's a moot point to some degree now, and they just got to fix it. But they should tell the story of those impacted. Why not? You know, if they can actually tell you how long this has been a problem.
Communication wise, they're being very open. Honestly, since Dylan's kind of come back, he's been like doing a lot of communication to the community. So I mean, even with this, they've been very open. They're like, okay, we went and checked. We checked the code to see if there is any possibility of weighting of perks. There isn't anything. And then people were like, then came to this, you know, theory of what's happening. And they're like saying, thank you for it. We're going to do some internal testing and see what we can find. So I think they'll be very open and honest about what's going on. It's just about how you personally feel about the fact that this, you know, hasn't been caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm more optimistic, which again, it sucks, but I'm like, you know, I could see as we head towards Frontiers where they come up with a new RNG system, and maybe just that would be a good. I think there's something in the market there. It's like, hey, we hadn't updated, our RNG for years, and
Well,
like it worked mostly. But by the way,
it-
it's all brand new engine now, the RNG
We'll-
engine.
We'll never know, but it's kind of interesting to think about if this had an impact on crafting versus RNG. When you start getting something like this that super impacts certain combinations, and then you present to the player red borders and the ability to get the combinations you do want. It's like, I wonder how much of an impact this had with preference for red borders and crafting versus grinding activities. And like, this is, I think, the upsetting part about it is like, this is the game. The
It
loot
is the
and the
game.
RNG is the
Yeah.
game.
It's a
And
core
the fact
part
that
of the
there's
game.
an issue with it is, it's crazy. It is.
Yeah. It
that they
is
don't-
crazy. It
That-
is.
yeah, that they
Yeah.
don't run this, whatever their internal simulation they talk about. Like they don't do that, whatever they're doing now, every time it gets patched and ready for launch. So I don't know how hard that is. And, we do know Bungie has had a bunch of layoffs and reorgs, and well, I guess we'll see how long it's been going on. I think, Myelin, you just hit on it. There's a good solution too. Again, if true, you know what? We're going to take chill inhibitor at least, and it's going to be a red border and blah, blah, blah. And like, just craft what you want for this one. Sorry. So who knows? Maybe they've got some solutions for, at least this is one of the main ones I've heard that people have had a problem with.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Juicy,
It's
though,
really
juicy.
crazy.
Well, I
It's
mean,
really
here's the other
interesting.
thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Very interesting.
I kind of assumed there was weighted drops. This is what I was saying before the podcast. Like, I kind of assumed there was weighted perks because everyone kind of got the same stuff all the time. But then I was like, oh, people must be just deleting the bad stuff. But now in hindsight, it's like, yeah, I mean, I feel like this pattern's been around for a while, but wrongly probably assuming people are just deleting trash rolls rather than keeping, like, you know what I mean? Like when you look at light GG, there's like often, obviously the most common combos, and you get them. Like I go, oh, I got a good combo. Like often I'll have like light GG up and be like, oh, how lucky am I?
No, but now it's like you got to
Everyone's-
go back and like look and see were those perks like in a straight
See
line.
what the perks are, yeah.
Yeah, like because you're literally,
Mhm.
it's so funny that you can visualize it. Like it just happens to be like, when do you get a bug that you can visualize so easily? Is this where it's literally like the straighter the line, the higher percentage chance you are to get it.
I mean, that's
like,
that's the crazy thing is like light
Yeah.
GG and this other website. I need to know the name of it. Is obviously taking that information from the code and presenting it visually too as
Yeah.
it's coded.
It's all in the API.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we mentioned it either, but especially for this chill inhibitor, I believe it only comes from the dungeon, and that makes it even worse, right? Of like getting a team together, and it's harder to actually farm and get done. So
Except
now
for the
I need
cheese
to know.
with the dungeon.
there's
Now I need
cheese.
to know.
didn't even
Yeah.
What other unintentional things are in the game, because everybody
Oh, I'm
swears.
sure there's a lot.
yeah,
Everybody swears if you take time off, Desi, and you come back, you are getting the rolls.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I want
true.
to see
That's real.
now. I want to see some data on returning players
Yeah.
getting god rolls. I want to see that data.
yeah. What is the website that figured this out? What was that called?
I don't have it here, but I can try find
Okay,
it if
because
you
like I'd love somebody to do that, right? Is like, track it in your first 10 hours after a month away, and your first 10 hours after 2 months away. Like that'd be fun.
If anyone
This has all
has
just
it
been-
in chat, let me know.
Yeah, if you can find the name of the website where people are signing up and then choosing to like farm a specific weapon. I had it earlier, but I got a bad brain.
Yeah,
I'm seeing Twitter post from Wow Woo.
Yeah, I see that too. And then I think T1 Vendetta was
Vendetta was
helping
definitely helping
with
with
this.
it. Yeah.
Vendetta.
so
And then there was some. I think it
definitely
was
a big
the
shout out to those folks. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like
new-
heroes
Yeah.
of the community, I would say.
like this guy who's been doing it. Like he does this for a job. Like this is his profession. He's a data analyst, and he's like, just to put this in kind of layman's terms, this kind of data would be like you winning the lottery 10 times in a row. That's how improbable it is for this to be like just a thing that's randomly happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at like the mathematical test they ran on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's great. You
chi-squared
can go
test.
through and read like the whole thing. It's crazy.
But yeah, interesting. I assume we'll have a lot more to chew on, as I can't imagine it will take them all the way through, next week to at least figure out the problem. Patching, solving,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know, but
Like,
I think we'll have our answers who knows, as soon as tomorrow for the weekend, right? Like we're recording on Thursday. I would hope that they have an answer for
identifying and
people.
fixing the problem
It
are
is
two different
Neo.
steps, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Neo?
yeah, sure is.
Neo has the big Google Doc
Mm.
with like all the stuff in there. All the stuff. So because he was just like, is perk weighting real? I don't know, but I do know that there is a serious problem with the distribution of perk combinations. So
Yeah,
and he wrote a 10-page document about it.
Yeah, and again, that Bungie had to respond and says that it's running simulations, tells you that they're sort of telegraphing, like, yeah, something's going on.
Yeah, I'm sure they're looking at it and being like, well, yeah, that's a clear like visual
Yeah.
that this isn't how it's supposed to be.
Like, they didn't seem like skeptical, is my point. They're like, yeah, we're running a bunch of simulations. We'll get back to you for sure. It sounds like more than lip service, so, hold your rolls.
Yeah, maybe you wait.
yeah.
Maybe stop farming for
Yeah.
just wait a little bit.
No, for real. I mean, if you are really searching for this particular gun, but otherwise check your perk table. Again, the way that it works, like Watson said, right, is see how far either next to it or diagonally from that row you are for that combination of traits. And farther you get away, just be like, you know what, this might be really hard to get. But you can cross-reference some of that with like GG, but I would just wait. Fascinating though.
It's very interesting. Yeah, I definitely wanted to know about it because I'm like, that is just so interesting.
Yeah.
Should we, while we're on Bungie, I mean, should we cover the Festival of Lost nearly being
Yeah, we
here
can
kind
do
of
the
thing? And
do the TWAB stuff. It's not a ton in here. Festival of the Lost is coming. Where you can get the, we voted for which wizard armor. It was like good wizards, bad wizards. Bad wizards are the warlock and the hooter, and the good wizard is the titan.
Lame Titans.
Boo.
There's a new weapon called Arcane Embrace, which looks very beautiful. And it is also a 2-round burst shotgun.
I've been liking
So.
those little 2-round bursties lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe we're also going to be playing Haunted Sectors again.
Haunted
That's
Lost
still
Sectors.
part of this.
There's
but
some new masks that you can get your hands on.
so fun. I've never been super into the masks myself.
Do they still take inventory, or are they?
No, I think they're ornaments now, right?
Okay.
Pretty sure. In other words, once you get it, if you don't want to like
Yeah.
keep it because of stats or whatever, perks, I should say. Yeah, you can just delete it, I'm pretty sure, and keep them once you get it.
The biggest news from Festival of the Lost is the exotic class item. So, exotic class item was quite the talk of the town since it came out. Well, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to purchase directly from Eva Levante the exotic class item for one eerie engram and 2,500 candy. It also says that if you have attunement unlocked, these items are extra sweet as you're guaranteed to get your selected exotic class item attunement perk, which is of course like one of the perks.
Are you sure it's guaranteed?
Well, this is the problem, right? Is now people are going to be like, well, how do you know? Because you didn't know about that.
That's
how
the
do you
code,
know?
Bungie.
You better check the code before you guarantee stuff. Also, what's really good about this is you will be able to do this even if you haven't done that exotic mission, the dual destiny, which is the first time they're allowing you to get the exotic class item if you haven't done it. But you just have to own the DLC. You just have to have the Final Shape expansion, and then you will be able to do it. Of course, that you have to do the mission to get exotic class item attunement. So it's definitely still worth doing it. One, because it's really fun and good, but also because you can get that attunement, which will make farming a lot easier. But you do have the opportunity to get one.
I'll be honest, I have several of these, and I'm like, attunement? Why am I forgetting like what?
It was a pretty new thing. Yeah, it was a pretty new thing because people were, upset with the drops
Oh,
and not
they
not being able to get what they want. They added the ability to attune to a perk.
Oh, I missed that. And like, yeah, I haven't been going after it since they've made some of these adjustments. And yeah, that was the main complaint for folks is one, it was just really hard to get them, or you'd be just roaming around, the new area, and or you'd have to get together and dual destiny with someone. And they were like, we get it, we get it. We're gonna make it more available. And well, I guess here's one way how they want you to play Festival of the Lost.
Yep.
Also,
Yep.
oh, so yeah.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna talk about the Super Black shader if you didn't
Yeah.
have anything else.
No, you can
Yeah,
get
if
Super
you remember Into the Light, Super Black shader was hidden behind like all the steps and like getting that done. And they're like, look, it was going to be exclusive originally, as I recall, right? And then they're like, you know what? We'll give you another option in the future, but we're working on that. So they say, what better time to reintroduce that than during spooky season? So the Super Black shader will be available as a reward for the Ghost Rider Event Challenge, which requires you to complete 15 challenges. So if you didn't get the Super Black shader, and quite frankly, if you wore the Super Black shader all the time, it was terrible fashion. I don't know why you want it other than for your guns and stuff, but you do you. But no, you can
Damn,
get it
so
now as
judgy.
part of the event. Oh, it's terrible, dude. Every time I want to give a fashion award, all black, like for ever since Into the
Yeah.
Light last May or whatever, I was like, nah. Made it easy for me though. I was always getting those awards. They're like, yeah, you look good. That's right. I don't have it on.
What was the shader for Destiny 1 that came with Call of Duty Advanced Wars?
Oh God,
Yep, I remember that. Advanced Warfare, yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It
I
was
guess I
like
never got
it
that.
was gray and yellow, but the
Gray and
gray had
yellow.
like a tiger stripe to it.
It had some
Okay.
pattern on it, yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah. It was pretty good, to be honest. It was pretty good. Have any of you guys played For Honor?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that
yeah.
game.
I was a huge fan
Yeah?
of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
I
there's
mean,
a Destiny
originally-
collab with For Honor.
They have done so many collabs. This didn't
You can
surprise
be
me.
Saint and Shax.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, in For Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is that game is cool if you've never played
It's
it.
really
It's got
cool.
so many things that I'm actually surprised when you look at Ubisoft and all of its current problems and ongoing issues. It's like, how has For Honor managed to get so many little updates and stuff? Something worked.
It did not launch
probably-
like super popular either, right? It had like a
No.
It seems to have a niche following.
Yeah,
but a
'cause it's
dedicated
cool.
one. Yeah, it is cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're right. It is a cool game.
It was kind of this, if you've never played it, right? I mean, Briar, help me out. It felt almost like a bit of a roaming Mortal Kombat-esque, obviously in a 3D environment, you'd roam around and fight through, I think, some PvE enemies, and then you get into battles with real people, but
Yeah.
it just had like these moments of fights that you're like, this is cool.
Yeah, and the combat system was really deep, and like you
Yeah.
had to learn it, and you had to, like, it was a skill based, like, kind of brawler combat with, like, PvPvE,
Yeah.
and like you
It
had to
was really
control
fun.
area, and like the aesthetic was very cool. Yeah, and I'm sure I played it when it was new, and
Yeah.
that was what it's got to be going on 7, 8 years, right?
I feel like it was 2017 or 2018. Yeah. So
Okay.
maybe not that long, but pushing 6-7 years. Yeah.
So I should jump back in because I'm sure they've done a ton to that game.
Yeah, good
It's
luck.
probably still super fun. Yeah.
I'm sure it's super fun. Yeah, but you're right.
I
Probably
mean, I
the
find with
players are
these kind of games
Very
that end up
difficult.
when they form like really niche like solo communities, like the population's not necessarily huge. You're like, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
a fun time. You
You
get
get-
absolutely destroyed. I've been
Yeah.
playing for the last 8 years. Get wrecked, noob. You just want to play as Shax.
Oh, dude, you nailed it. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for
Definitely.
sure.
Especially like medieval melee games, people take real serious.
They
Like they'll
do.
be doing
What's going
crazy
on?
skill tech.
Got to be some psychology behind that.
Is this
Dude, I'm
in the
watching now. Yeah,
Ubisoft app? Like they have their own launcher app, right? It must be in there.
I'm pretty sure it's on Steam and everything.
Is
Though.
it
I
on
don't know if
Steam?
you have to log in though. You know how sometimes like EA games were like that.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. I hate
But
that.
no, for real, really cool game. It's funny. I'm watching it again while we're chatting here. I'm like, yeah, it's like I remember, man. It's fun. It was fun to play with other people. I got really into it, but then I had enough after a while. So
Yeah.
anyway,
You also fight the Scorn. That's pretty cool. Have you seen that?
no.
You fight who?
You do. You fight the Scorn.
Oh,
the
you
little
do?
enemies of the Scorn, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a
Like
substantial update.
like
it really is.
Like a Scorn minion, like a mix of one of their normal enemies with Scorn, pretty much.
Well, the game is currently on sale for $4.49. So
yeah, and I don't know if you have to. Did we say if you have to pay to get this stuff? I'm not clear on that, but
I have no
don't know.
idea.
probably right. But hey, it's the world of collabs and
Oh
skins
my
these days.
god, you can play as Shaxx with the goddamn flame sword.
yeah, you got to do that, right?
That's just gonna make
Is life
people want to
worth
do that in
living if
Destiny.
you're not playing with Shaxx and a flame sword?
Don't worry.
Well, you know
Crazy.
what? You're gonna be able.
Rising.
I was gonna say you might be able to get some of that action in Destiny Rising. Woo!
For a cool $4.99 pack.
Per
No,
minute.
it'll be more. It'll be
Shaxx
much more. Yeah,
bikini.
per minute.
Hey, but you know, Destiny Rising will have percentage drop chances listed though.
True. And you know it'll be tested too. You know it'll be tested because they'll
You
get
know it
bloody
will
sued
be.
if they're not.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The name of the website is D2 Loot Tracker, by the way. I'll put it in chat for anyone who wants it. But if you want to, if you want to help, like test all of this stuff, you know, you can just get in there and start doing it for literally anything you're farming and see if see if it's present.
It'd be fun now to see like how far that bug goes backward, right? It's like because couldn't you like test it on weapons from like different releases throughout the years, and I mean that's a lot of work, but hey, you know, people got a lot of time.
Yeah. Take a break from the game. Do some math. You know. Oh, I bet
All
you
right.
Watts has some news for us.
I don't know what you're talking about. Me and my Khezu hoodie holding a Khezu
You look
plushie,
like you look like you're getting eaten by a shark, but it's not a shark.
Well, it's Khezu, yeah. Actually,
This is why you need to watch the show, everybody, on Twitch or YouTube.
This is my Khezu hoodie. I pre-ordered it in June. It's from the Capcom store, which is the official, like, you know, where you get all the stuff. So it came from Japan. Came really fast. Good experience. Highly recommend.
Khezu?
Khezu. Yeah.
Oh. Got it. It's for the
That's
YouTube
usually
time
the
code. I like to be
reaction.
accurate.
That's usually accurate. Yep.
For the time code.
So exciting time for Monster Hunter fans and future fans.
When is it not lately?
Well, there was a break between Tokyo Game Show and now, where we were starving for information, pretty much. But they had a showcase, Monster Hunter showcase. It was 10 minutes long, and we were like, what can they show in 10 minutes? Well, they come out with a brand new trailer that shows an entirely new area that we've never seen before. And they showed 3 new monsters that are brand new to the franchise that we also had not seen before. They showed us like what some different weapons look like from the monsters that we had seen weapons from before, which was cool. And then at the end, they said, and there will be a beta test. And we're like, okay. And it's like, and it will be on these platforms. Okay. And it will be crossplay. Okay. And then
one more thing.
The dates popped up, and it starts next Monday for PlayStation Plus. If you don't have PlayStation Plus, you'll be able to play on Steam and Xbox on October 31st.
Is PlayStation Plus like the base one that allows you to play online?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Because I'm like, do I have PlayStation Plus? I've got to look.
If you don't have it and you do have like a PS5 hanging around somewhere, try and look for like trials, or there's like some websites that have deals, and you might be able to find.
Yeah,
something.
PlayStation Plus is the name of the service, but then you have the essential plan, the extra plan, the premium plan.
Okay.
Well, they just said PlayStation.
I think I'm on the base.
Right. So yeah, all
plan
you
for
need is
PlayStation
like
Plus.
essential. Is basically it. I assume.
So not only that, there was more. Because I was like, it's probably just going to be like the Gamescom demo, right? Because like, you know, they had something there that people have played. But they also said that they are launching the full character creator, and the progress will carry over to the full game.
Oh no. When does it launch, Watts?
February 28th.
Oh, wow. That's right
Yeah.
around the corner. Is it limited
Monday.
release, like limited time, or does it just kind of stay open? You can play it as much
It's
as you
only
want
for a
until
limited
launch of the
time.
game. Okay.
It ends November 3rd. So if you're just playing on like PC or Xbox, it's like 3 days that you have
Okay.
access to it.
All right.
But yeah, I like the Dragon's Dogma 2 when they did the character creator ahead of time. It was such a huge success. I think it sold a lot of the game because people were making their characters and they're like, you know what, this is cool. I want to see the character in the game. So I was kind of expecting that they might do it for Wilds, but I was very happy to hear that they're doing it because it's just so nice to make it before the game comes out. Because then day one, the game is here. You've made your character. You've like gone through the tutorial, and you know what weapon you want to use, and you can just play the game.
But Watts, you
Yeah.
only got 5 days to play the
You do.
demo or the beta.
You do only have fun.
How much time are you going to put into your character creation if you only got 5 days to
I'm
play?
going all
total?
in.
I'm not.
I'm
I'll go
making
preset.
my character.
Preset and add a dumpy. Oh, you're done.
I want
Stumpy.
to
Add
make
a
a
dumpy.
video about the character. This actually solves a problem for me personally because I wanted to do like a character creator video, like on launch. So I was like, how are we gonna do it? I'm gonna be midstream. I'm gonna have to pre-make a thumbnail and like upload, but now I can just do it on Monday.
Nice.
He's it on Monday. He's busy. Yeah. So it was crazy. It was a crazy showcase.
Well, tell us about
Crazy
this new area.
So the new area is called the Oil Well Basin. It's like a fire area, fire and oil. Gonna say, just a little tip: don't build your town around a massive forge when you are surrounded by oil.
But it's so warm here.
Why? Then you have a fire moat
Yeah, you do.
all
It's true.
around.
Yeah.
Also, prime for
Max
invasion.
Yes. And all of this cooking
Yes.
oil is so close by.
Yeah, but isn't that
More
the
reasons.
Isn't that the thing about the town? Is there like a forge
They are a
specific
forge,
town or
yeah.
something? Yeah,
The
like
whole
a giant
town
forge.
is like a forge,
Do you reckon?
which is
So
kind of good.
is there gonna be, because each town has like their specialty, right? So this is good.
Yeah.
Like we got the cheese town, and this is the oil town.
It's the oil
Right.
town. Yeah. It's where you go for sludge and
Will they
you know,
What's the
have
cheese town
something
called?
different?
Kunafa Village.
Okay.
Yeah, Cheese
No,
Town.
that's not a fun cheese town name.
Cheese look good though. Cheese look
do
real
look
good.
Cheese
So,
look real good.
do we know? Will this town like have something specific that will be unique to that town? Like whether you can craft different armor or weapons, or
We don't know anything.
some
We just
perk.
saw it in the 3-minute trailer, and that was it.
What was
That's
the
all we
deal
know.
with the cheese town though? Was it just like, would that have a unique food buff like specific to cheese that you can only get
Yeah.
at that town?
Yeah, so they actually confirmed so there's stuff that also happened at New York Comic Con that they didn't stream, which was like new information. But they said that you won't be able to eat in the villages. You buy ingredients from the villages to then cook yourself. So you
Okay,
go
so
to
then you
Cheese
can make it
Town,
anywhere.
you buy your cheese. It's because you
Right.
want that buff from the cheese, and then you can make it anywhere.
So there could be something specific at this others. Like, do you call them towns or settlements or whatever?
I think settlements is like the official
Settlements.
name they're using to distinguish them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there could be something there for forging weapons, maybe, or armor.
could be. Yeah. So we
Or
kind of
just
got
be
to,
a
which
cool
would be
area.
cool. Would be cool.
Mm.
We got to see that the different periods, because there's like the Faro period in the oil well basin where there's like not much there. It's like sludge town, and then the inclemency period for here is the fire. It's
Everything's
called
on
the fire
fire.
spring.
And that-
Yeah,
And that monkey, the fire monkey comes out, right?
fire monkey is more likely to be there. Yeah. His name is
That's cool.
Ajara Khan. I couldn't remember his name, but then someone was like, just think a jar, a can. A jar and a can. And I was like,
Pretty
Sure.
good word association. I like
Ajara
that.
Khan. I
Nailed it.
got it. I don't know why I couldn't remember. He's more likely to come out during that. And then the plentiful period is like everything kind of dries up. Like all of the fire goes away. So it's all just like kind of, I should say it looks calcified almost. It
Right.
looks like that. Yeah.
So Monster 1 was the one that lives in like the oil, right? And
yeah.
it's kind of like
Rob Popolo. Whoop, whoop,
Rob
that's
Popolo.
the sound of Po. We have it
And-
for reference. I have a new Twitch emote that is his face with a bobby hat on.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a popo.
Yep.
And then the fire monkey. What's the third? I don't know if I saw the third.
He's called the Black Flame. So we don't
Ooh.
actually know his
Sounds like a
name. He's
pirate.
like a mysterious monster that people don't know about. And he came out because the fire spring happened. They lit the fire of the forge, and then whoop, here's an octopus. He's an octopus kind of looking guy.
Oh, I did see that guy. I had very big boss, like even like more boss.
He was
feels than
holding
normal
the
mon-
Ajaricons in his tentacles. He had two.
Yeah, he had big Dark Soul vibes. That dude.
He's super cool. There's a part of the trailer where he's holding the hunter in one of his tentacles and then like spitting oil and flame at him. So I think him being called the Black Flame, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a mechanic where he mixes like oil and fire and then you're set
Yeah.
on black flame and it burns you more than usual or something.
Mhm,
Kind of like super
mhm.
poison.
mhm.
He's super
So
cool.
new area. We saw 3 monsters, and then the beta announcement. Was there something else you said?
There was showed Alma, who's our handler. They showed her menu, which was really nice because we were like, how is it gonna work? How are you gonna join people? What does that look like? How's multiplayer work? I don't know what it's like. But they actually showed it, and it's got settings. There's a bunch of settings that you can change for multiplayer. You can choose to have however many people when you do like an SOS
That's
flare.
right. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you're like, I just want one other person. I want, 4 people. You can also choose to have people only, a mix of people and AI, or just AI. You can also change a bunch of what the support hunters do. So if you want to be getting all the mounts and all like the guarding and all that stuff, you can make it to where they never do it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
the main
nice.
character. Get off of that monster. It's mine. And then they also showed like lobby quests, which is kind of, we're used to lobby quests. If you're in a lobby and someone in that lobby posts a quest, you'll be able to see it. But then they also showed link party quests. So the link party we knew about, but we hadn't actually seen a visualization of what it's like. So a link party is you can be with a group of 4 total, including you, and it's always active in the background. So you can be in entirely different lobbies, entirely different parts of the story, different regions, doing whatever, but you're always linked in the background. And then whenever you want to join up with them, you can just talk to Alma and select linked party quests and join them right away. You can just join them whenever.
Yeah, so you could be doing your
Huge.
own stuff, and then you'd be like, "Hey, you want to help me do this guy? I keep getting hurt," and then you just join in, and you can disband again.
And like
That's
Alma's
cool.
with you all the time, so you can just go up and talk to her whatever.
Yeah, and that was like a huge issue with the world, like because
Yeah.
you tried to play some campaign with me, it's a pain in the butt because sometimes you got to watch cutscenes and like you can't join yet, and
Yeah.
you've got to wait for me to finish this, that, and like
Yep.
go collect something first before you can rejoin. So yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's gonna have like an always active text chat, voice chat, so you can just be like, let's just with your friends. You
Chilling.
can say, let's just join, and like maybe we won't play together, maybe we will, but we're connected always. So if we end up doing something, we can join really easily.
And did I see this correctly that you always have palicos even with a 4
Yeah.
person?
Mm-hmm. You always have your
Yeah.
palico with you, which is very nice.
That's new.
Yeah.
Because you would lose it after 2, right? You would only
Yeah,
have
in world you would, yeah.
in world. Right.
So I love that because you losing my palico, I feel I never want to lose the palico. They're so helpful. I never want to
Makes
lose
me think that this is gonna be a hard monster hunter because like having 4 palicos and then you've also got the wound system. Like, I feel like it's gonna be they're gonna be beefy
see.
monsters.
We'll see.
I guess it will just scale, right? Because it does scale in world depending
It does
on how many
scale,
people.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
does
probably just
scale.
scales.
What if they have palico scaling? Oh, you decided to bring all your palicos and all your friends?
Yeah. I've got 8 people, or I got 4 people and 4 cats.
Yeah. Oh, they did also show they showed a little bit of character creator. So you can choose some things we didn't really know about yet is you can choose your base voice and then you have a bunch of choices for your voice pitch And then you have a bunch of options for your voice bearing, which is kind of like their personality. So one of them was overconfident, like confident. One was graceful. So it's kind of the personality that your hunter will have when they're talking.
That's kind
And
of
then
cool.
they showed the Palico one too, because the Palico can talk English and also speak cat
Not
language.
my Palico. My
Mine
Palico was one to shut the fuck up.
I want mine to constantly talk and talk crap to the monsters. That's what I want.
Yeah, shit talking Palico. I kind of
Yeah,
like that too.
I want
actually.
that. So they showed that you have, again, like the voice options, the default options, and then you have voice pitch. So you're going to be able to change their voice quite a lot. And then they actually showed the same scene with like the Palico saying something in English and then what it sounds like with just their cat language. So that was nice to see what that actually is like now.
Is that going to be 1-to-1? Like, if they would have said something in English, would it have come out in the cat language? Like,
Yeah.
is that like a real like in Lord of the Rings, the orcs have or the elves have an actual like written language that Tolkien made?
No, I think he just goes, yeah.
Okay.
Instead of saying like the full sentence.
Fairly accurate though.
Yeah.
Sounds.
Makes sense.
I just wanted to tell if anyone's interested in playing and you haven't played, like you don't know if you want to play yet, what the content actually is of the demo. So of course you have the full character creator,
Oh yeah, what can you do?
but they also have the very beginning of the game pretty much. So it's a full tutorial, which is really nice because normally in these betas you have like the hammer character, the longsword character, and you just pick a character like go hunt. So if you have no idea what you're doing, it's actually kind of difficult. But this one actually gives you an intro to the story. You get to see the cutscenes of the story. You get to have like the little interview with Alma where she's asking you questions about what weapon you might want to use. And then you get to go on a tutorial hunt where it will like tell you, here's what you press for the wound system or focus mode or, any of this stuff that you'll be able to go through that full tutorial with Chatakabra, the frog boy. And then there's also the Doshaguma hunt, which is basically what you've seen at Gamescom and all of those demo things where you go and it's a quest for Doshaguma, but you can hunt also Balahara, Randal, and Chatakabra in there. And you can
Alright,
also
so you'll
walk
be in
around the
that-
village.
So you'd be in that big open area with all of
Yeah.
those. I don't know the names yet. Did you was that one of them, the Apex ones, or no?
Yeah. Randal was there when we were playing. So
Randal.
we should be able to hunt him.
So the one that looks like a frog with a licky tongue,
Yes.
and then like bear dog,
Bear dog. Yep.
and then lightning dragon, which is like the
Yes.
Apex.
Yep.
And was there one more?
A wormy man.
Oh, the worm. Great.
I love all the shorthand names for him, honestly.
Yeah. I wish this
Wormy man.
was available for a longer time though, like instead of just a few days.
I think they will probably do another one. I actually was
yeah.
thinking about when they were going to do a beta because we know one's probably going to happen. But I was like, this is the first time Monster Hunter has ever been crossplay. So them doing an earlier one, I think makes sense to be like crossplay
might
is
be like
here.
a
Test
frickin'
it out.
do it.
Stress test, right?
It might be, yeah.
Do you got to sign up for this advance on their website or anything, or you just download it?
Nope.
Okay.
You don't need to do anything. There's no pre-ordering, no nothing. Just download it, make your character, play the game. And this one is really good if you've never played because like I said, you do have that tutorial mission and you do have that interview with Alma where she'll tell you what weapon you might want to use. So I think if you're
you
interested
could-
in Monster Hunter, this is actually like the best way to do
You
it.
can use all the weapons in that.
Yeah.
Use every weapon. Do you know like crafting? You reckon they'll give us access to the crafting stuff?
I
or
don't think so, no.
you reckon
They'll
use
probably just
base
have
weapon.
So yeah, for when I was playing, it was like the Hope weapons, which are like the starter weapons, and then they also had Balahara armor, Chatakabra. No, they didn't have Chatakabra armor. They had Balahara, Doshaguma armor, and Hope armor. I think was what they had.
Okay,
So
so
they'll
you'll be
probably
able to
just have
hunt,
some armor
hunt
that you can
hunt
pick
the
up.
bear dog to get that armor.
You have it right away.
Oh, you just start off with it, right?
Yeah, you have a choice of a couple different armor options right at the beginning.
Okay.
Can you just go out in your
I'm
skivvies?
excited.
You do what?
Go out in your skivvies.
Yeah, probably. I would assume so. You could probably take your clothes off.
That's how I like
Yeah.
to do it.
Role play. What was that Elder Ring guy that would help? That would help everyone beat
Let me soul her.
Yeah.
Let me solo her. Yeah. Briar just shows up in his jocks. Let me at him. I'm in. Who wants some?
This cat's crap talking everybody. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Well,
Next
I'm going to
week.
play that literally, there was someone looking out for me. I'm not a religious person, but I had a family camping trip booked from
Ooh.
Friday, Saturday,
But you
Sunday, and
got
I was like,
sick.
how? And I was like, how does this always happen? How do I always book a holiday in when
Because you
something
go 17
released?
holidays a week, Myelin.
Yeah, you do go on a
Guy,
hot
talk to me,
holiday.
wife. Jesus Christ, you're not that rich. And then,
It's your lawyer wife whisking you away on getaways and romantic
I
holidays.
just want to stay home and play me games. And then this morning, because I haven't told her, because I'm like, oh god, because obviously I want to play a lot of Monster Hunter and make videos about it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I don't think we can go camping. I'm like, really? No,
Oh,
why?
no.
She's
What a
like-
That's
shame.
terrible. Yes.
she, she checked the weather and it's gonna be like 40 degrees Celsius,
Oof.
Oh,
which
God.
is just like
Like, we're
and
dying
we're-
out there.
That sounds
We'd be
cold.
dead. We can't go.
and we're kind of inland, so we're not near the coast either, and there's no like river or anything to
It's gonna be
swim
freaking
in.
hot.
And
That's like 104 degrees Fahrenheit for our American friends or otherwise.
You don't wanna
and
be
you know what it's
camping
like in
in
a
that.
tent. In a tent's pretty
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Like by ourselves, sure, but because we all got kids now, it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, daytime naps are like really tough when
Yeah.
it's super
That would
hot.
be
It's dangerous. I mean,
They're
it's
like, oh,
dangerous too,
that would
but-
be no, we cannot do that. That would be
Yes,
terrible.
I was like,
Leo
you
would
know
get heat
what?
stroke. It'd be really bad. We shouldn't go. For
We
his
didn't get a
sake.
refund.
Oh dear, what a shame.
Yeah. Uh-oh. So
Yeah. So you can play it.
I think so.
Are you playing
Well,
on Monday?
yep,
Or are you waiting for
of
Steam?
course.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'll play on PlayStation
I'm waiting for
first.
Steam.
It's not cross save, is it?
Not cross save, cross play. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll probably just
Uh,
I'll probably just play on PlayStation for the entire time and then switch over to Steam for the release.
Just make sure that
So
there is like a pendant that you can get for
Oh,
playing
okay,
the
maybe
beta.
log in. Yeah, maybe log in
You
on my
could log
Steam.
in. Yeah, get that. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So the game's not going to be cross save when it launches either. Is that accurate?
No, they've said that cross save is really freaking hard.
Is it?
They've like
Nice.
been
Yeah.
pretty open about it. They're like cross save is like technically very very difficult.
Yeah, and I'm sure it is. It just remind me of the gears I always have to grind with that topic where I'm like, how it just is so uncommon. It's a shame.
mean,
that
it
it's an
really is.
industry
difficult.
standard.
Yeah.
It's also gated to I often think of like the Sony games, like when Ghost of Tsushima hit PC. I'm like, dude, I just want to hop in with the stuff I got and check it out, and I'm not gonna start a new game.
Yeah.
There's so
Different
That's
many
got to be the
issues
next
with it.
thing.
Yeah.
Now that cross play is almost standard with so many games, I think like
Yeah.
cross save is like the next kind
Yeah.
of bastion
It really-
of
The
things that
problem
should
with
be there.
cross save is like it would also mean that the stores themselves probably need to change the way that they work
that
because
is the
And that-
hard thing. Yeah.
yeah.
That's where it comes in. But I mean, again, like it should be an industry standard that it stops being whatever is causing these issues, if it's microtransactions or store
It's
rev.
gotta
Apparently
be.
it's also just technically very like I've heard so
Yeah.
many developers say that just technically getting it to work is very very hard. So they were like, we focused on crossplay. And Fred, when are you ever gonna play? You're not gonna play Monster Hunter on PC and PS5?
No, but my view is that we pay for it, and there's examples where it comes up that it would benefit me, but in other words, as gamers, I do believe we're paying for that at this point. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, in other words, if I buy it on a PlayStation and I get really into Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's like a year later the DLC comes out and I'm gaming on PC, it's ridiculous to have to buy it again, And that's
Well, you don't
very
have to with Monster
hypothetical,
Hunter
but-
Wilds.
Well, you do have to buy it again, right? And then well, let's even say it's free.
Why
you
are
still
you
can't transfer your
switching
save
platforms though?
because the PlayStation's old at that point. and I don't have a Pro, and
You mean for Monster Hunter World in 2018, which you didn't
just
play? You mean that
giving
one?
you hypotheticals. It happens to people all the time, and or you're meaning people double dip all the time.
Well, I prefer
so
to play on my PlayStation when I'm in my living room, but I prefer to play on my PC when I'm up here in my office.
Thank you, Briar.
But
Well,
to
how
solve that
about
problem,
you go and learn how to code
No,
and
well,
figure out how to fix all of the industries.
I just bought a
Learn to
PC for
code
my
for-
living room. But even having
I'll
a
tell
PC in my living room, like I really don't prefer playing on it because it's just cumbersome. Like having to pull out the keyboard and the mouse, and like it's not a good living room experience. PC.
I just don't.
I know you're messing, but like
I don't think developers are lying when they're like, it's really difficult.
I didn't say they were lying.
Well, because you're like, nah, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know, because it's not a priority. Do you think it's more difficult than the other things they do?
Yes.
That's the question.
I
no,
do.
I don't think necessarily. I think it's not a priority.
Cross-save is so difficult to do. To have it go between all of these different systems, it's difficult. And like, if it means
it's
that,
difficult.
do we wait 4 more years for a Monster Hunter, or do we not have crossplay, or do we have one extra less map, or insert thing here for them to get cross-save?
Also,
working?
a developer. I can't remember what game
think
it
so.
was. The
I'm a
developer
defender of it.
but the developer was very much like Sony is very against this. They do not want this because
They
they
were back
want
in the
you
day,
to
yeah, they probably
buy.
still are.
They want you to buy your DLC on the PlayStation, not on a PC or a Switch or an Xbox.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it's just difficult
You'd
because
have
of the
to buy it
contracts.
twice.
Whatever
Right.
the case, I mean, I'm sure it's difficult, no doubt. I'm just saying it's not. Yeah, it isn't a use case that when you look at whatever 10, 20 million in sales, like most of those players aren't running into that problem. So I understand. I'm just saying that when it comes to services and how games work, I really am a defender. It's kind of ridiculous that it's the year, it'll be 2025 and I can't transfer my save like the same game on it. It's absurd to me from like a concept. It should be like every game we make, that's how that works,
Was it Fortnite who just like, oops, we accidentally enabled crossplay on everything? Was it Fortnite
I
that
don't
did
remember
that?
when it went. There was I don't remember when. I do. There was something where it was like working kind of or something.
Yeah,
like,
and then like,
it's not supposed to.
Sony made us turn it off because they don't like crossplay, and then basically like
You might be
everybody like peer pressured Sony into allowing crossplay. I think it was
Kinda,
Fortnite
yeah.
that did that,
I
right?
think you're right. And then Warzone, and then it started to unravel into the free battle royales. It was okay, and
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, I just have my access to.
I definitely I see what you. I know we're giving you shit, friend. I see what you're saying, and I think it's somewhere in between where there's a lot of barriers that are not just tech issues. There are like the microtransactions and Sony's and parties, and then also the risk of like people not wanting to pay again, and then how big is the population that want to buy the game twice? How many people have an Xbox and a PlayStation and a PC? And then it's kind of like you got enough barriers there, enough technical issues, and not enough, need for it that it's like, well, yeah, it's not on the priority list, I don't think.
Yeah, even going from PC to Xbox, and so I'm just saying it should be an industry standard by now, and I'm sure there's many.
Well, I mean, the
reasons why
other
it's
thing
not,
is like streaming games is what solves that, right? Where you're not even on a PlayStation specific thing. I think people are probably just waiting for that tech to get better because that. Playing your phone, playing your PC, playing your TV.
Yeah,
I guess that can only get so good though. There's always
Yeah,
going
but
to be
see, in
latency
theory-
in there.
No, but in theory that doesn't work either because you'll be on a PlayStation streaming service or you'll be on Xboxes and like you won't be able to transfer your save to the other one. In theory it would not fix it.
Sony's
not
still
about
gonna
where,
fuck you in
it's
the
the-
end.
Well, no, meaning in theory you're still playing on a PlayStation server in the cloud. They're not just all the same Windows.
Yeah,
with,
but you
like,
won't be
GeForce
tied to a
in it.
PlayStation console, though. Isn't that the point?
No, but see, I don't think that's
I don't
the
know if
problem.
Sony's got anything to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I would love,
Say it's hard.
know
That's
if
what we're
it-
saying. It's hard.
I don't know if anybody's done a piece on it, but what are the real reasons? I think we would have to actually know why it is so difficult, like Watts was saying. But and again, I think we're talking to a small portion of the audience. But what I can say is someone who's been gaming a long time, it has come up at least a dozen times for me where I'm like, dude, I can't believe I can't. Just
I'm with you,
transfer my
Fran.
save."
It comes up for me a lot
Okay,
too because I do like to play on both PC
can't
and
be alone.
PlayStation. And I don't mind buying a game twice to have that advantage. I mean, how many
That's
copies
absurd.
of Destiny 1 did I buy, for Christ's sake? A ton.
Yeah, that's absurd, dude.
I would
about it.
say, I would just look at, so in like early cross save, we're still pretty early cross save, but early in cross save when people were doing it, the amount of problems that cropped up of constantly migrating that user data between the two systems, I remember it, where people would lose their stuff.
Yeah.
That is
Oh, sure.
so scary. So clearly, even when people have managed to do it, it's still not been super easy for them to manage it and make it work.
Just put
Okay,
what's
so
John
here's a
Carmack
good
up to
question.
these days. Put him on it. Boom. He'll figure it out in like an
Is
hour.
he over that VR
I'm
And
stuff
glad
yet?
game development
telling you.
is so easy.
He's
Thank
like,
God.
right, I'm thinking of old school PC stuff. I know it's not the same, but you know when you just entered like goobers into Wolfenstein, it was like a keyword code. You get God mode, like tilde, enter a single word. That's how cross save works in my brain. It's
Save
just
us,
tell me
John
what-
Carmack. You're our
just let
last
me-
hope.
me type in a few keywords and just give me all the stuff that I had on the other platform. It's simple.
It's finally the time for John Romero or John Carmack and George Romero
Yeah, or
to
Romero,
come back
sure.
together.
Bring them back, dude.
Here's a good question, right? So Destiny has cross save, and we all agreed that was great and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
How many people here actually have recently played on multiple consoles?
Well, I don't play Destiny. that
You mean
often
just in
anymore.
general, or for for Destiny?
Well, okay, well in general or Destiny,
In
like
general,
just
yeah.
the last, take the last year for example.
I mean, I just gave you an example, which was Ghost Tsushima. I wanted to play it a bit on PC and come back to it. I played a ton of time, sunk money and time into the game, and then it came out on PC. I'm like, oh, sweet, I want to check this out.
Yeah,
Maybe
but see,
play with some of these people, and I couldn't. I'd have to buy it.
That's an
and
issue
start
with
over.
release, I reckon, not cross. That's the issue with like delayed release and exclusivity and having like games released on PlayStation 5 first and then wait a year or 2 years for them to come out on PC.
No.
Well, I don't understand the difference, but
Well, it might be easier to
cross
stop
save is
early
solving the
exclusives.
problem. Like cross save is solving that problem, but I would argue the problem is the exclusivity. Because that's what happened with like Monster Hunter, right? Like I started on console and then I wanted to play on PC and then I was like, I don't really want to start again. But cross save would have solved it, but it's a band-aid for this exclusivity of releasing on a console first or releasing on a certain platform first and then re-releasing, you know, not
like
long
if it launched
after.
on all platforms at once, you wouldn't have had.
You wouldn't have the need for it, right?
I still think you should have the need for it in case you have those edge cases. But anyway, someday it will happen, and we'll all look back and be like, you know what? It is nice.
It is
And
nice.
of course it's nice.
I agree overall.
I don't think anyone is like, I don't want it.
No,
I'm
I am-
sorry. If
I am
currently
staunchly
in-game
against you
development,
having a cross
I
save.
have to
There's no
choose
integration
between-
allowed between platforms. Absolutely not.
if I have to choose between crossplay, Monster Hunter being delayed for God knows how many
Yeah, no,
years,
I
I'm having
wouldn't
to
want it.
like I'm gonna choose to have the game in February and have crossplay rather than sit here waiting for cross save that maybe
Of course.
You will not bring your dirty PlayStation
It-
5
it's-
save onto my pristine PC, you son of a bitch.
It's it's similar to saying like I would rather the GTA 6 not launch broken than launch cross-platform and launch on PC at the same time. I would rather
I
that
think
not
cross save
happen.
but cross save
But-
is like you don't need cross save. I need the game to physically work so I can
Oh, I
play
need
it.
cross save.
You don't need
That's why I
cross
brought it
save.
up.
You don't need it.
I keep telling you, I need it for Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know what.
You
how else
are
to say it.
not going to be doing it anyway, Fran. Let's be honest.
I was going again. I'm no. We can move on. No cap. I was going
no,
to
we're
help
good here.
people in Ghost Tsushima Legends. I was like, yo, I got all the grind done. I just
Yeah.
wanted to hop on for a few. You can play co-op missions, and I'm like, this would be really fun, just for a day. And I couldn't do it. But anyway,
Did your save
really-
even transfer between the
I don't want to.
PlayStation 4 and the remaster on PlayStation 5? Because remember they
think
had an
so.
upgraded
Yeah,
version of
yeah.
PlayStation
Pretty
4
sure
game
that-
on PlayStation 5.
That works fine. PS4
And then they
to PS5,
remastered it.
Yes.
Fran, your community is just upset with you.
I just want it for the record.
They just
I
want to
have
know
tried
if
to
you're going to
move-
play Monster Hunter.
I have
Because they're
tried
not
to
even
move
convinced that you will.
off the topic for a while, being like, it's not that big of a, and you guys are bullying me. But I
need
know that
cross-save for all these games.
the entire podcast is going to walk away. Everybody listen and be like, God, Fran would not shut up about cross play and
wouldn't.
save. And I'm just saying
Fran,
it's not that
people
big.
just want you to play games.
It is
How about we start there?
complicated.
Elden
How
Ring
about we
too.
start
Elden
with-
Ring would have been a good opportunity for cross save too, because I
Thank
would have
you,
loved.
Briar.
I would have loved to be able to transfer my PlayStation 5 save over to the PC for the
Yeah,
DLC release, because like I assume, I don't know that they actually fixed all the PC problems for that game, but once they did, I would love to play it on
Dude,
there and get high frame rates.
Cyberpunk. What if you had a PlayStation? Then you got Phantom Liberty. Anyway,
I have an
so many
Xbox
good
save.
examples. Try path tracing in it. Oh my god, life changing.
Ev-
Anyway,
I still
everyone's-
haven't played the. Is it called the Phantom City? Phantom DLC?
Phantom Liberty.
Liberty. I
Dude,
still haven't played it yet.
I don't want to go off on that. Man, game of a generation. I've said it before on the show. Phantom Liberty. Beeline your way into opening up
I
that
gotta
part of
do
the
it.
save you play. But go do it. And that game, honestly, it is one of the games of the generation. It is so good.
So are you
I
gonna play
just-
the beta,
I
Fran?
put my.
People keep asking. I'm just asking. What
Oh
the
yeah,
people
yeah,
want.
yeah. No, I am. I gotta make that character. Big old dumpy.
I
Whatever.
just put my
Yeah.
house on the market
Yeah.
like today. It went on the market live. So I've got like a ton more time in my life because I'm not like at my house fixing it up, trying to get it on the market. So I am so excited to like be able to sit in front of the play some fucking games in goblin mode out. Like I'm so excited about it.
Mhm.
Brian, what
Speaking
if I
of-
told you
Yeah.
there's a game on Steam where you can put houses on the market? It's a simulation game.
Had
You play
enough.
that
Thank
game.
you. That game sucks. Speaking of sitting in front of the TV, have you guys seen
Oh, yeah.
the new Yakuza Like a Dragon TV show on Prime yet?
I haven't watched it. No.
It's
No.
I know
only
it
the first. Yeah, the first 3 episodes are up, and I watched them, and I'm into it. Like I'm not like head over heels yet, but it's still like early, and we're still getting to know.
What is
like,
it? A live action or is it
live
animation?
action?
It is a live action, yeah.
It's filmed in the Japanese language. They have it dubbed if you want to watch it dubbed, or you can watch it with subtitles. But like it doesn't quite like nail the tone. Like kind of, you know how like the Yakuza series has like this real like self-serious tone combined with this real
It's a
silly
thin line,
tone.
right?
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
works somehow.
Yeah.
It touches the silliness sometimes, but it very much takes itself seriously. I don't know. I am kind of enjoying it. I am liking the characters so far. I'm only 3 episodes deep. I think they're doing it like a weekly release schedule, so that sucks. Maybe I should just like stop watching it until it's all
Yeah, you can.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And you're just gonna
I've been
drop it,
enjoying
though,
it
if
so
you do.
far. The guy who plays what's the main character's name called?
Mm.
Kiru. I don't know. I can't remember. Everybody's gonna be
Khezu?
mad. Was that Dazi?
I've been watching the new
know, I
Dragon
don't know.
Ball.
You have.
Yeah.
I've been watching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Daima, Dragon Ball Daima. Yeah.
Daima, yeah.
Real quick though, let me just finish up on Like a Dragon. Is the guy who plays like the main character? They do like there's a time split like 10 years ago in 1995 and 2005, so it's like going back and forth, like showing the past of the characters and showing like the current in 2005. And the guy who they've got playing the main character, he's pretty good. Like, and he pulls off the action scenes because there's quite a few action scenes like right off the bat.
Yeah, I can
You know
imagine.
what's funny, Brian? I had no idea. I joked that it was Khezu. Is it Kazuma? I'm looking it up.
Kiryu?
Kazuma.
Right, Kairu. Kiryu.
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 Yeah,
Kiryu.
Kazuma
Yeah.
Kiryu.
Yeah.
Kiryu-san.
Yeah.
Kiryu.
Is it Kazu? That's hilarious. I just picked a Japanese name that might, but I guess he maybe go. Oh, maybe Kazuma's the last name. They wrote it that way. Either way,
Kiryu.
that's who it is.
Kiryu.
Yeah. Anyhow, I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of it. What's going on in Dragon Ball? What's the name of Dragon Ball now?
Well, this one's Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah. Oh, this one is also
and-
important because it's the last one that the original author of Dragon Ball was a part of. Like, this is his last work.
Is this going to be
Yeah.
a long
Before he
series?
passed.
Like, are we doing?
Well, so look, let me
what's the format?
say a couple things first before people come at me. I watched Dragon Ball Z as a child, as a teen, loved it, but I'm not like a huge Dragon Ball fan nut. I know all the lore or anything like that. So I've just kind of jumped into it to see what it's about because I've just heard that it was new and it was the last series he worked on. So I was like, oh, that'd be interesting. I think there's only 2 or 3 episodes out at the moment. It's on Netflix and it's on the other like streaming platforms. Quality's super high. It's only subtitled at the moment, I think. And I can give you the basic premise if you like. It's set, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, I think it's set like just after Majin Buu saga. And the whole like premise is they get turned into children. Like all the main characters are kids.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I've seen the
basically
trailers. I'm like, they
yeah.
look smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going
Yeah.
on here?
They're kids. Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. That's all. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, it's funny because every time you guys mention some of these shows, I'm like, man, there's all these other shows. How do you have time for all these shows? But I don't like. I
only
was
watch
wondering, are you watching
anime.
like Penguin? Anyone?
Yeah.
No,
I've been
I've heard
watching
it's
Penguin. That's
good.
great.
I've heard
yeah,
it's
I've
very
heard,
good.
heard of,
I'm caught
what is
up
that
for
on?
the most part.
Is that on Hulu?
HBO Max.
Oh,
Ah, freaking HBO.
That might be why too, depending on like the service or if it's paid for.
yeah. I
if you don't
rotate
already have
through
it.
them. So like, I watch everything I want to watch on like a service, then I cancel it and I move on
That's
to
a good
something
idea.
else that's got like some stuff I want to watch. And it's been a while
Yeah,
for HBO
the-
Max, so they probably got a bunch of stuff I want to watch.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't spoil it, but I mean, if you watched the Batman movie, the latest one, it is the extension of that. And if you don't know who plays the Penguin, like it's kind of crazy when you're like, oh wait, that's who plays the Penguin, like the actor, and shockingly good makeup and all that stuff. And then,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, the whole deal with Penguin, I mean, the Batman was a more like gritty, serious, emo, take on Batman.
Right.
But the Penguin was part of it, but the mobster life, and yeah, it's always been part of Gotham. But that is what the Penguin is. It's a mob drama around the Penguin and the crime families that he's involved in, and it's fun.
Is it ongoing
it's
week
good.
to week, or is it all
Yeah,
out?
it's episodic weekly. We're on like episode 5, I think. So I assume we're nearing a conclusion. I think it would almost certainly get renewed given just the quality and general reception. Last episode had, I wouldn't spoil anything, just like I'll just call it a fight and something that happens in it where I was like, all right, that's kind of far-fetched how that happened. If you watched episode 5, you will know what I'm talking about. Or maybe it was 4.
Yeah, I don't
but
think
you're
I'm
like,
up to date yet.
this person goes down like that, and you're like, that makes no sense. But whatever. Good for the camera. So anyway, I've been watching The Penguin a lot. This is the short of it.
I've heard great things about it.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Heard
And,
really good.
and on TV shows, Watts reminded me that Severance season 2 is coming out, and there's a trailer.
Yeah, it's coming out in January.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
looked
around the
away.
corner.
I
Yeah,
saw the
pretty
trailer.
close.
That's been one of my most recommended shows, but I
Oh my
looked
God,
away
so
from the
good.
trailer. I was like, I already know I want to watch it. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like brain fucks, that show is perfect.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that is the
Yeah.
one.
I don't think I've heard of this show.
Oh, it's
Severance
good.
is
Severance.
so good. I'll give you a synopsis that's not spoilery. So the whole premise of it is that you have a work brain part of your brain and a home part of your brain. And when you clock in at work, it's your work brain. When you clock out, it's your home brain. And they cannot interact with each other.
Yeah, so
And
you
it's
don't
them
remember.
trying to.
Your work brain doesn't remember you being at home, and
Nope.
your home brain doesn't remember you being at work. But
Nope.
think about this: your work brain only remembers being at work, so you're at work
Yeah,
all the time.
all the time.
But it goes way beyond that. It's like it's such a mind fuck.
That's
TV
like,
show.
yeah, that's the general premise. And then, it goes from there.
Like this
Because
is live
the
action.
people at work
Yeah.
don't even, the people at work don't
It's
even
an
know like
Apple.
their family, their, significant other. They don't know anything.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
just
the,
Oh, it's an Apple show.
Yeah.
Think of it. It's almost like an
That's
Apple
why.
TV drama of the quality of like Fight Club movie, but as a series and like it has it's super high quality. But yeah, it's one of those you got to give it like 3 episodes.
Yeah, you definitely
'Cause
got to
it's
give
pretty
it a couple.
slow. You're like, I've heard of people that tuned out of it, and I was like, what? Why? But I had watched a few in
Those
a row,
people
and
are
it did.
dumb.
Yeah, I agree with lots on this one.
It was actually one of my best friends and his wife. But no, but I understand. Like they're trying to chill
Is this
Need
the
a higher
same guy
class
who
of
likes
friends.
Diablo Immortal?
They're trying to like chill out, and they watch like
might
dating
be.
and like
Could be.
what's that popular dating show on Netflix that everybody's watching?
Love Island?
Yeah, no,
The Bachelor?
maybe it is Love Island.
Tiger King.
No, it's the.
This is
It was
making
one of the.
sense.
They're all the same versions here. They put them in different rooms, so they never see each other, and they talk through the. Love is Blind. That's it.
Love is Blind.
They just want to sit
I
down
like-
and watch that,
like
and
them.
like not turn their brain on. I understand that.
I understand that totally.
I do
I've
get it.
never had Apple TV. So
Well, if you do get it, you can also watch. You can watch that. You can watch Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is great.
Yeah.
so
Ted
somehow I
Lasso.
obviously saw Ted Lasso. Don't sue me. I must have watched that somewhere else somehow.
Yeah, if you
Have you seen all the seasons?
Yeah. I think
No.
so.
Yeah, if you have any Apple devices, sometimes there's like that month free trial or whatever
Yeah.
for it. So it's
We don't
worth-
even have any Apple devices here. They're
Mm.
banned.
but they might have a
Monarch
free
is really
trial
good too. Yeah, honestly, Apple TV, it like if you want to just get it
There's
for
some really
maybe
good
like a
stuff.
3-month trial, whatever, like
Yeah.
they
Oh
have a lot
yeah, I
of
never
really
saw
good shows.
Monarch. Is that Godzilla?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have some really good.
It's like a TV show that ties into the current Godzilla universe.
Is
but
Silo
I-
on Apple TV?
Silo is also on
Oh.
Apple
Silo's
TV.
also really
Oh,
good.
Season 2 of that
You know
is
what?
right around
Oh,
the
they
corner
do.
We've
too.
really run out of
Foundation
TV
is
shows.
good.
This is like a
Oh,
good
the Foundation, yeah. Oh, by the way, they have a 7-day free trial. So you
7
have
day,
like
okay, you-
5 days to get
So-
through one show.
You
That's
can do
tough.
it.
A 7-day free trial is a tough one because you're gonna be
Yeah.
like,
You can do it.
I don't think we
Foundation's
can do
really
it.
cool.
Not next week with Monster Hunter out. I'd
Not
have to have
next
played
week.
in the background.
Yep.
Really good shows. Oh, can I tell you guys about my trip to Portland real quick?
please
Oh,
do.
yeah, I saw you went to Portland.
I went to Portland. We went there
I love
because it was the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth concert. So it was Distant Worlds, like their regular stuff. But normally when they have them, even when I went to the Final Fantasy 16 one, they still had stuff from like Final Fantasy 10. They still had Sephiroth.
Awesome.
But this one was like all Rebirth. So it was like the full concert of all of the region music, the updates to music. They had Bow Wow Wow, Bow Wow Wow. That was there. They had everything.
Oh, Bow Wow was there?
Bow Wow Wow, Bow Wow Wow. Yeah, great song. So we went there to see that. It's like a 3-hour drive to get there, I think. Which was good. I got
Portland's
a
dope.
it's like a glow stick pen light, but it's the Buster Sword and the blade lights
Oh,
up.
sick. Go get
It's
it
pretty
immediately. I
cool.
need to see it.
I don't have batteries on it.
Next
You can
week.
pre-order it from the Square Enix
Assignment.
website. If you yeah, I can have it next week for sure.
Please.
I also
do.
got a Buster Sword keychain that says Final Fantasy like World Tour, Rebirth World Tour.
Oh, I looked it up. This is cool.
It's really cool. It's really cool. That's the one thing I wanted. And those all sold out within like I think 10 minutes of the door opening, so we got there a bit earlier and lined up. And then I had a vegan chicken drumstick. Check this out. I'm going to be thinking about this for the rest of my life. The bone is made from sugarcane.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Why don't you
right.
just get-
Is it
Hmm.
like literally like a stick of like unprocessed sugar cane?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, you basically it's like
Interesting.
a candy cane with
It's sugar cane.
faux
Like
chicken
a
on it, whatever that was. made
Sugar
of.
cane.
And you're not? Are you a vegan or?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. I didn't realize that.
And the sauce Jamaican jerk, which was like probably the best Jamaican jerk sauce I've had. Like they sell their sauces. They're really well known for their
Jamaican
sauces.
food is highly underrated.
Oh,
highly
it's
so
underrated.
good.
I know.
Yeah, get some Jamaican food if you haven't.
I like it
All of
spicy.
it is great.
Very hard to get around here, but when I
Mm.
get it, I'm very happy about it.
Was that the best food you had there?
We had a Japanese sandwich from a place called Tanaka. So I had a tofu katsu sandwich.
That sounds right up my alley. That sounds good.
What?
That was
Can you explain a little further a Japanese sandwich, please?
So they have like there's some things. So a big part of it is the bread is really really fluffy.
I was
Okay.
gonna
And
say,
it-
I bet it was.
Doesn't have any crust. The crust is
Oh,
never
wow.
It's like white bread, soft, puffy.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's like
really,
ultra white bread.
there. Yeah. And then they have things like, you can have like strawberries and cream in the sandwich is like a very popular one.
Okay.
The katsu sandwiches are also a thing, which is
What's
basically
katsu?
like
It's
basically
so
like
delicious.
it's basically like if you take like fried pork.
Uh-huh.
But the thing with katsu is that you have it with like cabbage and it's got a special tonkatsu sauce. So you put all of that in a sandwich.
Okay.
It's
Okay. I'm in.
delicious.
I'm sold.
When I went to Japan,
Yeah, Brian. You
yeah,
know,
when
like,
I went to Japan, I just
It's
would
so
go to
good.
the little corner stores and buy the sandwiches, and they're so good.
They're
Yeah.
so
They'll, like,
good.
they're
set-
so soft.
Like
and
set you up
delicious.
for the day. Just get a katsu pork sandwich. Like yum.
They're
Yeah, I was like,
so
Brian, you ever had
good.
like chicken German schnitzel, flattened tenderloin style
Yeah,
like, chicken
yeah.
sandwich?
Army.
That's the
Parmesan.
idea of tonkatsu, but it's
Okay.
different with the way that it's fried. And then the sauce, yeah, is like
Yeah.
it's almost like a barbecue
getting hungry
tang
just
to it.
thinking
But it's
about
not
this.
barbecue. Oh, it's good.
It was really,
So
really
good.
good. We had sandwiches there. And then we went to go. It's called Fire on the Mountainside or Fire on the Mountain.
Nice.
It's called. They have a few places in the U.S., but they're just known for like really delicious, amazing sauce. Those chicken wings are really good.
You know what Japanese
Really
food places do better than any other restaurant too? Is portion
Everything,
sizing.
but
Oh. Well, like you go to an Italian restaurant and you're like,
Okay.
you're leaving there. You're not ready for action.
You
right?
can't
You're
walk.
not ready for combat when you leave an Italian restaurant.
yeah,
You're ready for a coma.
yeah.
But when you leave a Japanese restaurant, you're like ready to go. I can do
feel
anything
good.
right now.
You're refreshed. You feel like energized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they got it right for
That's
sure.
good.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. Yeah, that Japan. There's that's one of the many reasons that they're not a population of people that are overweight, like
Yeah.
portion sizing, but they're constantly walking on their feet. They're eating like
Yeah.
generally just natural, healthy things.
Right.
Without-
Doing ninja stuff.
Even though
that takes a
katsu
lot
is
of
deep fried,
calories.
but yeah, they don't eat katsu
The
every
frying
day.
is different as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the breading is different. It's all like a little bit
All of it.
lighter
So
a lot of
good.
the time.
I want to go
Yeah.
back to
Oh.
Japan.
Now I want Japanese
Portland.
food.
I was gonna say I love Briar. Have you been to Portland?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, because you'd love it for the beer and the coffee. At minimum.
Sold.
Yeah,
Their
this
beer and
place that had
coffee?
the sandwiches had coffee and also cocktails.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everything,
Ooh.
but beer and coffee,
Mhm.
and then actually, is you ever heard of Voodoo Donuts or
I have, yeah.
They
I
started
think they
there.
do have, yeah. hmm
I think they started. You know, Brian, you ever heard of Voodoo Donuts? But the really like,
Yeah.
just that like tons of like outrageous, like a zombie donut and all
Yeah.
these
Oh,
different
I-
like
Not
The
into
grizzly
the like
donut.
fancy donuts. Like I kind of like my
Okay.
donuts a little bit basic.
they
I
got
feel like
that too.
The more shit you put on a donut, kind of the more you kind of dilute the ultimate goodness of the fried dough flavor.
Yeah, I feel that. Go to their website though. I'm looking at it. It'll make
Okay.
you. It'll make you. They got all these
All right.
like. They got these cute little Halloween ones going. But man, anyway, now I want donuts.
Delicious.
So good.
We haven't even started tour questions. We're already getting hungry.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Right,
dinner time.
they have a donut called the Old Dirty Bastard.
The ODB.
A raised ring with
ODB.
chocolate frosting, chocolate cream filled cookies, and peanut butter drizzle. Simple and effective.
So very simple.
Anyway, I love Portland. It's a great place.
Portland was great. Yeah, I had a great time there. It was very, very quiet. We were like walking around on Saturday night and it was like super quiet, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. We were
Uh,
good.
Can I give you all a quick update on Diablo?
Please do.
Oh,
mm.
yeah.
It'd be I know I've
Diablo.
been mentioning it every week, but I finally got real deep into it. And what I can say is I did the raid finally. I don't know if I got a chance to mention that.
Ooh.
I did not
So
know
they had
that.
added, it was one of the big things about Vessel of Hatred, right? The expansion that's been out over a year, plus their seasonal content. But it's got a raid. And the huge thing that I had wanted since it launched was like, you just do like a dungeon in Diablo. And this is relevant to the raid because you can do it for here too, and many other things. Is matchmaking, you're just able to be like, I just want to run a dungeon, which can take 12 minutes, right? It's you would think that wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta like old school stand around town and be like, does anyone want to run a dungeon? Like
Yeah.
ridiculous. And so anyway, they had added that, but it being there for the raid, really cool. And it is a raid with mechanics. Won't spoil anything, but it's got little like cleanse yourself of this and go to the other realm, and like it's enough that you can get through it and figure out without ever talking that it's still satisfying. Like I've played it twice now and I'm still like, okay, wait a second, like what's the best way to do this now? But we got through it, eventually. You get it done. So the way that it works too is there's 3 branches and you can just play one at a time until if you want the full reward, you just make sure to do all 3 branches once per week, and it resets every week. So, and you get really good.
How many
loot,
people
so.
can you bring into a raid in Diablo?
4.
4? Okay.
Yeah, which I believe is the dungeon max and stuff like that. So it's not like it's bigger than that, but that was a huge ad, and it's been a great time to come back to Diablo. But it having the raids, and big shout out to them for getting all that added. The only thing I will say is, having played a lot now, though, it's still it's just so grindy, to get. It's interesting, right? Because there's so much loot that is good, but the way that Diablo works is this very slow crawl of power unless you get into like meta builds, and But even then, you need these really rare drops, and so there's just this calculation of time, of
Yeah.
how much time you're going to spend to get there, and it's a lot.
And you
from
guys
what I can
restart
tell.
that every season with a new character, right?
Yeah, and that's
Mm.
another like. It's funny you bring that up. I'm glad you did. I'm at that point that I'm thinking. I'm like, I want to play more than that, but I'm like, am I just gonna be done with it, and then it's gonna be next season? I'm like, oh crap! Like I got to start over.
Yeah, fair.
So I know why they do it. There's some reasonable reasons, but I also don't know why they don't just allow you to, continue a character on, especially now that, there'll be another raid, maybe help people out with your character. Like, I don't know. So hopefully they look into it, but
Is there
a
any
lot of fun checking it out.
like common content that you can bring all your characters into?
Well, that is the Eternal Realm.
Okay.
And so
The
what happens is,
Eternal
your
Realm.
seasonal character goes back to, the Eternal Realm. So like of course, that's a good point.
Myelin
You
knows
can
all
go
about
play
that
there,
with
but
Once Human.
yeah.
Yeah, I
But
was
again,
like, once human has eternal land, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Eternal.
it's a good reminder it has it, but it's again like the raid, I assume, is not in there. I think the raid is part of Vessel of Hatred, which is also part of the seasonal content. Yeah, that's another thing is like, I don't know about, there's probably an answer for this. Is like, is the expansion gonna be in the Eternal Realm if it's not already? It probably is because they have some check boxes for like, if you own this, check this box. But anyway, it
That would
is still a
be-
problem.
That would be kind of cool. Like as you build these characters up season to season, to go back and then to like mix and match characters and content. Like if you get like a different character in next season, to go back and do the raid with the new character. But if they don't move
Yeah.
that content into that Eternal Realm,
It's just the problem is like it splits out. There's always like new seasonal stuff to do, and like that's the main reason to check it out, right? It's like, do you want to just
Yeah.
take what? Because the problem with the Eternal Realm for me is like, well, it's all the stuff that you have and we're already doing that you took a break from. There's a new release, start a character over for that. But if you don't want to, yeah, you can still go back and play what you were already playing, and like it just splits it in a way that you're like,
yeah,
not for me. I know some people like it, but even also you got to remember the stuff you earn in there as part of the grind. It's like, oh, I got a mythic unique. You can't use
Right.
that in the new seat. So
yeah, that
You know.
sucks.
yeah,
Yeah, that's not
Hopefully
an
they fix that.
elegant system.
It's not elegant.
it's
Do-
classic Diablo. That's
You get called
Do you
out.
keep
Not
do you
classy.
keep anything
in the Eternal Realm. Yeah,
like
in
between
the new
no,
season.
in the new season? You keep does anything
No.
transfer across? No.
No, you
See,
started.
once
It's like a
human, you
whole
do.
new-
Yeah. Once human,
Maybe
you
that's
kind
the
of
solution.
keep your like meta progressions. You keep
Oh,
you keep the blueprints to like craft weapons again, and then you keep like mods, which are like random perks and destiny that you can
Yeah, you-
re-slot on stuff.
You don't keep that stuff. That's a good caveat. You keep okay. So you got to unlock the map and your campaign progress, and like you unlock a horse as part of it. And you also get some like extra potions and points for your skill tree and stuff. And so that stuff, you do keep. But I mean, nothing else. It's a fresh character at level 0.
That's pretty hard with a real stat-driven game like Diablo
Yeah,
is.
It
You
is,
get
that
like
is tough.
percentage points per gear, and like there's lots of stuff to roll, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it comes down to like some people play a couple 100 hours, and then you're faced with like, oh, I want to check out the new season, but it's like, are they going to play another couple 100 hours to take it that far, or you're just not going to play it a ton only to check out a little? But then like you're kind of missing out on that. I always feel like the frosting and the gravy is what comes at like 100 hours in or whatever in Diablo, where you're
Yeah,
like, oh
I
my
agree.
god, like I'm so powerful, and like it's nice to get there, but like you're getting at it's gonna reset, so you're like, I don't know.
At the same time, like it's one of the problems I had with the Elden Ring DLC is I walked into that place so fucking powerful. Like I didn't feel any danger. Like it didn't feel like Elden Ring. It felt like I was just I was the boss when I walked into there. So like Diablo is solving that problem when the new DLC or when the new season comes. Like you start a new character and they give you like a new class to start with, even, right?
If you want, there's a brand new class. Yeah,
that's kind of, I don't know.
But
it's not perfect, but
look,
can see
it's
why they're
just the
doing it.
way that Diablo has done it. And like that's not a
Yeah.
good excuse. People have definitely felt this and been asking for it. What I would say is like I wouldn't avoid Vessel of Hatred. and the seasonal stuff right now because it's so fun and if you like action RPGs, it's just really quality. If you listen to last week's episode, I was raving about it too. So in other words, if you're afraid that you're gonna play it for 150 hours because you might want to play another 50 in the future, I still wouldn't let that keep you from those 150 hours right now. Like it's the way that it works, but that you're not throwing away the enjoyment. It's just
still a good experience. Yeah.
oh yeah.
When next season comes, does this season go into the Eternal Realm?
Yeah.
And then can I play it with my original character? Like, so if I just waited for like this season to be over.
Well, the activity itself isn't. I'd have to investigate. I don't remember.
Does the raid go in the Eternal Realm?
Well, it hasn't happened before yet, so I don't.
Is it the first raid in Diablo? I've never heard of a raid in Diablo.
In Diablo 4, yeah.
Interesting.
So,
there were some in Diablo 3?
I don't remember if Diablo 3 had raids. That's why.
Yeah, I don't.
But it is, it's the first raid in Diablo 4, and I mean, it's big, right? Because that's what everyone was saying. They're like, you make like World of Warcraft. Can you guys like figure this out? It'd be awesome in Diablo.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way the Eternal Realm works is like they put your character there and some of the things, but even this is where I'm not 100% caught up. But there'd be mechanics that wouldn't even like fully translate. It'd be like some of those things are there, but like the seasonal stuff is done. It's like Destiny. Right, where that seasonal questing and it's no longer there anymore, because the new seasonal stuff is up in the new, season, and so it doesn't quite. It's not just like a carbon copy, is my point. So
interesting.
Yep. Great game though.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people having a good time with it. This one.
I got into Dragon Ball.
Reverse mohawk.
Sparking.
He did.
Oh, you started playing Sparking Zero, Myelin?
Yep. I got sold by the TikToks. I got sold by the funny TikToks and people screaming and like getting slammed. And I was like, you know what? I think I just need to experience this. I played through Goku's campaign. It was enjoyable. It was more enjoyable for the seasons I had seen. So all of like the early stuff, which just reminded me of my like childhood. I was like, I like, because it goes quick. Like it skips big sections because you're playing like the campaign and like some fights are skipped and some fights aren't, and you do all the pivotal stuff and you fight against all the main villains and that kind of stuff. But if you haven't like I was struggling to remember the storyline, and it does jump forward a lot. And then when I got to storylines I hadn't watched before, I was completely lost. But it's still kind of fun talking with Chad about like what was going on in the storyline. Couldn't get a PvP game though, probably because I was in Australia on a weekday. But couldn't get a connection. That was a high enough quality connection to actually get a game. Damn. Unfortunately,
no Aussie Dragon Ball fans.
No, not on a Monday. Not on the Monday in the middle of the day. Not on a Monday. Yeah. And then chat ruined it by then the backseating stuff. I mean, fighting games.
Oh,
no. It was a matter of time that it
was
really
that
ramped up.
Hobbits or was that tourists?
Returning hobbits, maybe?
Mm.
Do you know?
That's what we have the new emote for. That's exactly what we use it for.
What's the new emote for?
Popo.
The Rom Popo.
Yeah, like the returning
when
chatters.
Someone's being sussy in chat, everyone can do it to be like it's like a hidden language.
Sick to Popo.
But I mean, it's because I don't really play fighting games, so it's one of those games that is very easy to start and then like hard to master. There's a lot of like counters to it. It's very like counter heavy game where it's I'm gonna hold triangle circle, and if you hit me first, then I get a counter. Then they can counter that counter. Then you can counter that counter, and then someone eventually gets in a big combo, and then Kamehamehas you.
Is this like a 3D over the shoulder kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. You can transform and all that, and you can go through all your different transformations. Do you have like this is what I was trying to play. There's like a group battle one where you select your team, and everyone's worth certain amount of points. So you get like 15 or 16 battle points. Then like Omega Chad Goku's worth 9, and then like Yamcha's worth 1. You know, whatever. Like Mr. Satan's worth like 2 points or something. You like assemble a team to fight. But I didn't get to play around with that.
Have you played Dragon Ball Fighters with a Z at the end? Fighters.
No.
That's a really well-regarded
It is
fighting game.
Yeah.
With the Dragon Ball license, obviously, and it looks like the anime. Like it's so well animated that it looks.
Yeah.
It's like that.
That's
It's
more
like that
Street
cell
Fighter
shaded.
style,
It's more Street Fighter-y, but
right? Or
like
side by side.
yeah. But it's it's pretty wild with like the huge combo moves and like flying through the air and like you can do some pretty silly shit in that.
Yeah, I don't think this one would end up being like a game that goes to tournaments and stuff because they've made the characters kind of like lore accurate. So if a character's like really strong, they're just stronger than the other character. So it doesn't really have like hardcore fighting game balance made
Yeah,
for
that makes
pro
sense.
play.
Yeah, it was good time.
Guys, they got me.
Yeah.
I was browsing
Your
Reddit.
friends.
I was browsing Reddit, and they they like show you the games, and I'm like, oh, they show you like just this little slice of like a phone game that you could play. I'm like, they had this one where you're just kind of like, you got this little tank, and you're just like shooting down the lane, and like there's these little like bars that go across that like double how many shots come out of your thing, and like there's this horde of dummies coming down at you. I'm like, it just looks kind of fun, and so I click it.
No,
I downloaded it.
Oh no.
It was
Clicked it.
yeah, it's called Mob Control, and I started playing it. And I'm like, it is kind of
How many
fun though.
ads
'Cause
did you get?
it's totally. Oh, I get there. It's totally one of those. It's totally one of those
Wait
things
for
that
it.
you could just like pop, click on, and you play 30 seconds of it, and then it shoots you to like your base where you build your base, like you build more points for killing enemies, and you build a base, and then if you want to spend your points, you got to watch an ad, right? A 30-second ad.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
even.
pretty normal.
It's not even you got to watch the ad, but the ad itself is another different game that you play in the ad. So
Right. Yep.
like,
Yep.
I haven't downloaded a game.
Briar,
I've
stop it.
downloaded like 20 games. Only one of
Oh
those
my.
games. Like, can I click
Do
on?
you know?
The rest of the
so
games are
gross,
like
dude.
these like little 30-second demos.
So gross, man.
It is gross. And then if
It
you
is,
want-
but I kept doing it anyway.
if you want to play for like longer than 5 minutes, you are forced to watch another ad. Like you
Yeah,
can't
that's how it
just
goes.
keep playing.
There's a rhythm game I have on my phone, and they're pretty generous with how much they give you. But if you want to do another song, like you gotta
Yeah.
watch an ad. If you want to get new
Brian,
songs, you gotta watch an ad.
Brian's
Yeah.
just preparing for Destiny Rising. He's
getting ready.
locking in.
Yeah, it's true.
He's ready to go.
Like, it
He's-
was
he's
totally
practicing.
unintentional. I was just like, God, that does look like like you're watching a boring TV. Like what happens to me is like me and my wife will like watch TV together, and sometimes she wants to watch something that I'm not really that into, but I still want to spend
Yeah.
time with her. So I sit there and I'm often just like kind of like
Scrolling Reddit.
doing shit on my phone.
I'd give
Right.
you surprise pop quizzes about what's going on in the show.
Yeah.
That's
What did
a
they just
good
say, Briar?
idea.
She knows better.
That's a good idea.
Huh?
But so I did go down the rabbit hole, and I do subscribe to like Apple One service, which gives you like extra storage on your phone and
Ah.
Apple TV,
Mhm.
and there's like a bunch of stuff. But one of the things is Apple Arcade, which I've never used before. So I just decided to look and see what's in there. So I downloaded Vampire Survivors, which that was a
yeah.
bad move, honestly, because now I
That
have
is a bad
Vampire
move.
Survivors on my fucking phone.
Yeah, that's bad.
Hey,
I
good
have to
game,
delete
though.
this right away because I've already put in like 10 hours. They also have Balatro, which is a pretty new game.
Elatro is very good.
Yeah, that came out this year, but it just came out on the phone. So I'm checking that out. It's like poker, but with like weird rules and like scoring system.
Isn't it like a roguelite poker?
I think so. Yeah. I haven't put any time into this
Yeah.
yet. I just kind of like downloaded it and like clicked around a little bit. And then I got I think it's called Kingdom Rush Frontiers. This game sucks.
I've seen ads for this thing.
This game fucking sucks. This is a tower defense game.
I like how this started with like Reddit, and now he's on his full-on
I like, when he
like,
traced,
This is how
like-
you get Briar. You show him one thing that looks kind of cool, and you've
Hold
got
on.
him for life. He's $20,000 deep, and he's buying all your merch.
Briar, didn't you have a Warhammer game? Aren't we meant to be getting
Oh.
a Warhammer update?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's stop.
I've been too busy looking at the like
I've
weird
been too
pregnant
busy
lady
playing
ads where she gets
games.
cheated on and kicked in the dirt and
This-
And this
picked
is
up by a helicopter.
Briar. Hi, yeah, I had a game booked in, but I'm not coming anymore. Back to mobile games.
So this is my
Okay.
tier, and this is not a
There it
completed
is.
mini.
Nice.
Okay, this is kind of like the standard paint scheme, which I'm kind of going with. If you're an audio listener, it's just like kind of purple armor with
Purple and white.
pinkish skin. But what I was
pink.
kind of testing out was kind of like some kind of like retro wave aesthetic, but it didn't
Yeah.
kind of work for me. So I'm not real sure. I'm kind of, I got to do like fucking 40 of these little buggers. So like I'm just kind of testing it out.
40.
But
Wow.
yeah, I don't know yet.
Yeah, but didn't you have a game? Have you had your
So
game
I was
yet?
supposed to go to a game on Tuesday, but I sadly got like too busy like working on my house to get it on sale for today. So I just didn't get over there.
I mean, with all those mobile games, clearly very busy. You think I buy this for a second? Guys like painting
Sorry,
40
did
action
you-
figures.
I'm very
download, just watching
Yeah.
Your
Netflix,
first
like,
game. Your first game, Briar. You
I
had to
just-
bail
I'm
on your
starting to
first
believe-
game.
I'm sorry, I was busy.
exactly.
Everyone set it up just for
Can't
him.
believe
Shit, you
this.
started Warhammer. You've committed. Go to
This
your first
kingdom
game.
isn't gonna rush himself.
Starting to believe that Briar is a developer on cross-save systems. It's too busy.
Look at that. It's very hard, Fran. I'm very busy over
Too
here.
I'm
hard.
busy.
Oh, damn.
Got lots
I
of
just
stuff
find the
going
irony
on.
in like getting into Warhammer, knowing how intense it is, painting all your figurines, reading 3 rule books, and be like, nah,
Yeah.
can't go.
I'll tell you, honestly, Myelin, though, is like, I don't need to play the game to enjoy the Warhammer figurines.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
really
true.
enjoying painting them. Like, I really am
Yeah.
I
enjoying
want to
that.
hear you play it. I want to.
I want to. I will play
through.
it. I will play it. I'll try to do it soon. It's it's now that the house is for sale. I've already had 3 people come to the house, which is great. They already
Nice.
It was on the market for like 20 minutes, and the 3 people had booked like a.
You
walkthrough.
should put your Warhammer, like set up a table there and see if anyone wants to play with you.
That would be an amazing update.
And then be like, if you can beat me in Warhammer, I'll give you 10% discount.
Oh, totally. That's
I
genius.
love it.
This is gonna take like
Imagine
4
that.
hours, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But 10% is a lot of money on a house, so you would do it.
That's a lot.
Should we do some Twitter questions?
Yeah.
This calculation Stephen did.
Oops.
Questions
What have I
from
done?
social.
Yes.
I don't even call it that anymore.
Yeah. You know what? Like, should we switch like where we take these questions from?
No,
We
I mean,
could
I think
start
that's
posting on
fine.
threads, maybe.
No, I think that's fine. I was just joking. That's like,
Maybe we could grab them out of
The
like
one that
comment
shall not be
section.
named.
Like, ask for them in the comment section of the YouTube video.
well, we have before, but Briar, are you really going to do that?
Yeah.
Leave
No.
us some questions.
Okay.
Leave
Let's give it a
us some
shot.
questions in the YouTube comments. If they're good, we'll read them. If they're not, we won't.
Yeah, we'll look next week. You can also, I assume, still leave them on social.
You can
if
leave 'em
put
on
that
Twitter.
out, but-
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can put them on there.
Yeah.
All
Do you guys have people rolling around in Teslas with bumper stickers that said, "I bought this before this guy sucked"?
No, but that's
I
great.
haven't seen any.
That's great.
That's good, though.
Uh,
That's
Uh,
really good.
Twisted Joystick Podcast says, "What game feature do you think should be in every game?" I believe Fran has already
No
answered
shot.
that question for you.
Are you
I
kidding?
saw
Was
that
that a real
earlier.
question?
It's a real question. I saw it earlier. Yeah, it's a
well,
real question.
you know what I'm going to say.
Fran wants loot, in-game loot comparison.
I do want gear management in
Gear
loot games. This
management.
is
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
I call
yeah.
it gear management. So,
There you go.
you know,
Gear
like in Destiny, I just want to right click on it. And can you just tell me if I have a duplicate that I can compare? All right. Enough ranting for me.
You know what? You mentioned earlier, like being able to hit the tilde key and bring down the console for a video game and start typing in all sorts of cheats. That's something you can't do in video games anymore. It was super fun.
Oh, it's there. They hide it from you.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's like
No, it used to be
You know
like
how-
just a standard cheat code kind of vibe.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like even stuff like in Halo, they had the skulls that you could find and then create modifiers for yourself. Like stuff like that is a lot of fun. I like when they do stuff like that.
I really enjoy, but I'm in two minds about this. Like when you actually get a proper training area with like training dummies, so you can like test builds properly, and it gives you like what enemies you can put in and give them armor. Like you make little scenarios for yourself. But then the negative side of that is then people like me come along and like try to work everything out, and then you get this really solid. You need to be using X weapon with X thing to do like optimal damage. It takes a bit of the like the discovery out of the game, but I also love it too. So
it just makes it easier to like decide to load up. But I don't like when they just like the numbers for each attack just drift up and then disappear into ether. What I need to know is like damage per second or something. Like I need I need that spelled out for me, because if I take a big axe and I do 100 damage, and then I do a little knife and I do 10 damage, but I cannot like figure out like what that means per second. Like, is this better or worse?
I started doing calculations in Once Human, working out bullets per second, magazine capacity, and then like graphing the damage per second.
Did you do it in your like your video editing software and like time it out, like do like a minute and like figure out how much damage you're doing per?
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. And then starting to work out like is it better to have the gun shoot fire and do less damage, or is it better to shoot slower and do like, you know, turns out devs have balanced it.
Yeah,
pretty
DPS is
right.
important. You need to have that.
Very early in my Destiny video making career did I fall into that rabbit hole. I said, no, I'm not going to be this person. This is for Patrick, not for me.
That was Patrick. Yep.
That was Patrick's job.
Actually, I will give it one more broad one that I've always wanted in PC shooters, which I've talked about before, is mouse acceleration, but done well and done right as a standard. So if you look at like Halo Infinite, it just has a really good, in other words, I want to be able to like quickly look around with my mouse and whatever acceleration that is, but not have it affect my aiming. And that is where the nuance is. And you'd be shocked at, man, it's a game changer. Like when I play Halo Infinite, I'm like, I feel like a god. I mean, there's people way better than me, but I can actually do what I'm setting out to do with this is a mouse and keyboard thing. And it's not a standard for some reason.
No, it sucks in so many games.
Yeah,
I turn it off
It's
by
done
default.
quite well. Yeah, it's done like really bad in a lot of games.
It's done poorly. Yeah, if you check it out in like Halo, like I have my settings and everything. Like it doesn't affect when I'm aiming, but when I start to move, and then you just get used to it, and it's great to be able to like look around the room in a shooter.
I just have like a 3 meter wide mouse pad, so I can go.
Yeah, but again, I know you're joking, but like that doesn't even solve it, you know? Because then you gotta be all over. Yeah,
my mouse pad is huge.
I can only ever think of like anytime this question is asked, I know there's probably something that I really care about, but I can only ever think of active time lore from Final Fantasy 16 for like really deep story games where there's lots of regions and characters, and being able to be like, hold on, where is this? Who is this? What's their relation to who and who? It just makes it, I was really able to like get really into that game's story because of that, because I could follow it.
You know how Amazon has that feature where you can check like what the actors are in the show? I would like to see that in
X-Ray,
active lore added to X-Ray, because how many times have you been like halfway through, like, or you start season 2 or season 3 of a new show that you watched?
Oh yeah,
because the last season was 4 years ago. You know,
I had that experience like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
where they started off like basically at the end of season 1, which was like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
like, I don't know who you are, what we're doing.
Right. So if I could just like tap a button and be like, oh, okay, this person is this person, and they did this, and this is why I give a shit. Or actually on Kindle, like that'd be nice too when you're reading a book and be like, I forget who Zulahani Zahawa is. Can I just click their name and like, oh, this is the person from chapter 2 who did that thing?
It's so helpful. It just helps you stay up to date with what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friend did say character creator. I do have one with character creator.
Yeah.
Being able to do the 2 eyes different color and having multiple hair colors. Because if you have an in-depth character creator and I cannot do multiple hair colors, your character creator is not good.
Yeah. Conan
Missing-
had the dick slider. I would also like to see that added to
Yeah.
Oh, booty slider gotta do something. I gotta be
Yeah.
able to make the big dumpy and big boobies.
Mhm.
Part size.
Otherwise, why is it even there? Stop it.
Lone Wolf says, has Bungie confirmed if Destiny Rising will make its way to PC? And if no, would you guys like to have seen it have a PC port? Technically, it'll be a new Destiny game with decent graphics, and players who aren't mobile games and tired of D2 will have something new to play.
I just
I'd
assumed
like a
it would be on
PC
PC.
client.
Yeah.
No, I'd like Genshin,
Pretty
right?
common.
Genshin or
Yeah.
Nikkei or like any of those. You can play them on your console, on your PC, on your phone. So it'd be nice. It'd be
Yeah.
nice because I'd probably more likely to check it out if it's like on the PC and I
You
can just get
need
the
cross
client.
save though.
They probably would have it for.
They probably
Well,
would have
actually,
it.
is Once Human gonna have, or is it a separate game?
I don't know. I don't know if they've spoken about that, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
same publisher.
It's
Yeah, right now it
Eddie's.
just says Android and iOS for Rising.
But even then, you can run emulators for those on a PC.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
probably
not
make
even
that happen.
out. It's going to be a closed alpha that they're going to have. And so, yeah, maybe but that's probably what their plans are, right? Is just get it out
I
on
would
phone.
assume so.
And it'll probably take them like a year after that, even. So you're probably looking at 2026 until it hits.
Zachary Richin says, drumsticks or flatwing?
Well,
I
it's
can't have
those
chicken.
specific drumsticks.
Why do they call
That
it
I
flat
had
wing?
in
Is it
Portland.
Just a wing?
Yeah. I assume he's just.
Yeah, it wasn't
talking about
flat wing,
wings.
just a wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Just a wing,
the
I
wing.
assume.
It's not the stick. Yeah.
I mean,
I do like drumsticks
I
in
like
general,
both.
though. Like this is the big, juicy pork meat.
It's the most
Mhm.
convenient one, right? Because
It is convenient.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's less
I
messy.
don't have too
Yeah.
much. There's all those pros, though. They like, one, you can actually take that's how I eat them. Pretty
Yeah.
much pull the whole.
And you get all the meat and like the middle of the
Yeah.
the wings. You gotta go. You gotta.
That's
Yeah.
annoying.
You get good at it.
Yeah.
But it's not that you like thumb up between the two bones and you put it in your teeth and like comes
I
right
have a
off.
suspicion that might be the more delicious meat too.
Well, it's the ratio of like assuming right. It's
Bone
not
to
skinless
meat.
or yeah, it's bone, skin, and the meat, and it's the ratio versus and like well, it's the same as like dark meat and white meat. Really is what it's about.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna say no to either. I think it's a ridiculous thought. You
I
just-
agree with you there.
both.
It's like
It's,
Stupid
you know,
outside of the
Both.
confines of this question,
Yeah.
I'm eating the wings.
it is easier. It's easier for companies to make like non-meat boneless wings because it's basically
Yeah.
a freaking nugget than to make a drumstick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
I
boneless
never
wing
thought
is
about
a chicken
this.
nugget, right? It is.
I think so. I think-
That's what we're doing here, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
I guess
it's got to
the
be
chicken
some.
nugget's more processed, right? Than like
Yeah,
Is a
So the
chicken
wings-
tendy? Okay, so you got a boneless wing, a chicken tender, and a nugget. Like, what is that a ratio? Like, what are we looking at here? Are they all the same thing, or are we just like a different level of processing?
I assume it's different level of processing.
Yeah, I
it's
think
how
so.
ground they are.
I think like
and,
chicken wing is like
nuggets have
like
filler sometimes.
even if it's boneless, it's chicken wing. It's wing chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, nuggets have more filler.
They
Type
have
stuff
filler,
sometimes,
yeah.
and-
Okay.
Yeah.
And once they're dino
Myelin,
stamped,
I want to know
then you get
Myelin,
the
when did you-
ultimate processed food.
dino wings.
Dino
Um,
wings.
When did you learn that you were allergic to chicken?
Who?
Like in my teens, cause
In your
Allergic
teens.
to chicken. Wow.
yeah.
Are you
and
allergic
know,
to
I
things
actually-
that taste like chicken as well?
Just the protein, any poultry
Just the
protein, I'm
protein.
allergic to. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
I'll
sad.
take
So-
you out to Portland for some vegan drumsticks.
Yeah.
You get to
Yeah, so
experience a
that's
chicken
like-
drumstick.
That's like the best thing ever. Like one of my neighbors was vegan and our fence blew down. We had to rebuild it. So he took us out to like a vegan restaurant and I had like all these chicken dishes that weren't chicken. I was like, this is delicious. Like I
You're
love
like,
this so
"Chicken!"
much. Chicken. Yeah. I actually looked up I was like, I've never really Googled it before. I was like, I wonder if there's any research on this. And I found like one paper about chicken allergies. And it only had like, it was like super rare, only like 15 participants or something in it. I'm like, oh, God
Wow.
damn it. No
Yeah,
wonder
I've
why.
never heard of it before. I mean, there's lots of allergies. One's
Chicken
surprising.
allergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my favorite dish, my dad used to make like a chicken pie.
Yeah.
And it was like if I ever got like to request a dish as a kid, I'd be like, can dad make chicken pie? Because I love it. And then eventually it was making me like really like I'm getting really phlegmy and like I'm feeling really sick every time we had chicken pie. And then eventually worked out it was the chicken.
No kidding.
That's wild. Yeah, you know what's
Yeah.
interesting because I feel like there's plenty of good if you are a meat eater meat and replacements for that, but like it is the most available lean meat, and so it must be so
And with
hard.
a kid, with a
Yeah.
kid now, like it is so annoying. Like dinner wise, if I could eat chicken, dinners are just so much easier too.
Yeah.
Like if you're
Oh, that's
feeling
right, so-
lazy, like chicken's like a good one to have. It was like, nah,
So
can't
it can't
do
be
it.
turkey or any kind of fowl.
Any
or anything,
fowl?
right?
No,
Oh,
I've
really?
tried pheasant. I've tried pheasant when I was in
Oh.
England. Pheasant, turkey, chicken, duck. Like you got good duck as well.
That's
Kind of duck.
crazy.
Oh man. And all of it
It's
hits
I
you,
think
wow.
it's a protein. It's like a protein in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
in the chicken.
Very
In the
interesting.
foul.
Yeah.
In the fowl, yeah.
I guess pork
There's
is
a
probably the
DNA
most
strand that they all
available
share.
close option, right? Do you eat pork?
Yeah, I do like pork,
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good replacement. It's
Yeah,
good.
because you can kind of do like you know, like popcorn chicken, but like popcorn pork. You can kind of like
you
do it
can
like
do
that.
nuggets
Oh, yeah.
and you know, it's just like the bone, like wings. You're not gonna like go somewhere
Yeah.
and they're like, "Do you have pork wings?"
We have pork chops.
Like,
Well, I
"Sir, do
mean-
you know what
like
a
a big wing.
pork comes from?
And the other thing that I can never get is the chicken parmigiana. I was like, the parmy. This is such an Australian meal, and like
Oh.
it's a staple in every
Yeah.
pub.
Parm is
Chicken
a
parmy.
Australian
Yeah.
meal. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
parmy, mate.
job,
Everyone
Italians.
loves it. Old
In
parmy.
where I live, like
Go to a German
regionally,
restaurant. You can.
we have eggplant parmesan that is like almost more
Oh.
popular than chicken parm around here.
Oh man, I gotta
Really?
come
Yeah.
visit. Get yourself
Yeah.
a nice eggplant parm.
It's good stuff.
Eggplant parm is delicious. Easy to make too. Yeah. Put it on some nice Italian bread. Making me hungry.
Possibly the worst named food on earth. Eggplant.
Eggplant?
Yeah. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
such a
what is
foul
this
name.
It's melanzana.
Eggplant.
Is it
Yeah,
in Italian?
right.
In Italian, it's melanzana, I think.
That
so.
sounds delicious.
In
Much better.
England,
Melanzana.
it's
Melanzana.
something else.
Don't Americanos call eggplant something different?
No.
Now I'm gonna start calling
Okay,
lasagna just to confuse people.
Aubergine.
Yeah, aubergine. Don't you don't call them
That's
aubergines?
England. That's England.
That's England. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's England. Because I started telling my mom about it. She's like, "What the hell is an eggplant?" Like, "Oh, you mean an aubergine? It's an aubergine.
We
It's an
definitely don't
aubergine, yeah.
say that.
An aubergine."
Yeah, right.
That sounds like a French version of it. I don't know.
Aubergine.
We do say hors d'oeuvres, though. I'd say it's probably less common. I mean, at this point, most people are like, do you have any apps?
It's French, Catalan, and Arabic origins. Aubergine, apparently, the word.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty late. I'm gonna do one more
Yeah,
question.
I gotta eat.
Risk said, "The weighted perks conspiracy going on in Destiny makes me wonder which of the following Destiny conspiracies is the most plausible." All right, so
This sounds fun.
guys listen to
Here we
this.
go.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Strap in.
listening.
Collis keeps chalky milk in his chalice. Interesting. Eva is embezzling silver for her sparrow collection. Or the witness was our only salvation from the gambit. From Gambit. The witness did nothing wrong. He was actually telling the truth. He was our salvation.
I was like, I told you I was the salvation.
Yeah.
All those sound very
probably
plausible. Yeah, is there
C.
D? All of the above?
All the above. Yeah.
I'd probably go C because the witness did say, "I am your salvation," so maybe it's just true. Salvation from
see-
something.
I can't see Eva having a sparrow collection, but she could definitely be embezzling silver, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Someone's making a
Maybe
profit.
she's taking a little off the
Yeah.
top. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Tess.
Yeah.
She's
Tess
doing it for free.
has like all sorts of sparrows.
Yeah. Well, Tess would be running the whole show, and then Ava's just kind of like one of the pawns in the
What was her uncle's name? Was it Fenchurch?
Fenchurch. I don't know.
Church.
Was it?
Yeah, but if you want to know the lore on that, they were never confirmed related. They both had the weird coin,
Oh.
and they assumed
Fenchurch
they
is
were
a
related.
great name. Fenchurch Mirabella. Could happen. I like
That'd be
that
good.
name.
That'd be good.
Fenchurch.
Make it happen. How many gift subs do we got to do to get that to happen?
Name your
I
kid.
mean, I think you got to figure something out before the gift sub.
I was like, are we gifting subs for Fran to have a baby? This is-
All the gift subs in
You're
the
gonna need a
world will
lot.
not produce a Fenchurch, but there's some other.
Some other obstacles. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. Thank you for all the questions. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I'll
Leave
open
it in
up,
the YouTube comments.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
open
check
up
YouTube next week as well.
Go check it out.
That's so true.
What are we doing for
Next week.
Thanksgiving? Are we gonna have a show? We're probably gonna skip the
When
show,
is
right?
that?
That's
It's a month away. I mean,
but
why
we
are you
should probably
planning
start
ahead
thinking
so
about
much?
it.
That's so unlike you.
Well, yeah, well, you know what it was is Myelin started talking about not being able to eat turkey, and I immediately started thinking about Thanksgiving.
I think we can figure it out, Briar. I think
turkey.
I
we'll
love
figure it
seeing
out.
the like Reddit, Kingdom Rush, Turkey, Thanksgiving, when it's just watching Briar in action is a joy.
Don't forget that next week's show is Halloween. So
Oh, should we dress up?
if you want to be dressed up,
I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
prepared for that. We'll consider.
I'm gonna do something stupid. I don't know.
I
what
could
it's
wear
gonna
this
be yet.
again.
Yeah, perfect.
I could try and make my face look like Khezu. I don't know how to do that.
It looks like you're being eaten from
Painted.
behind.
Yeah.
This is his mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
Phrasing.
Yeah, this is Khezu.
Call there.
That's
Next
right.
week we would have played Monster Hunter WoW.
Yeah,
and all
that'll
of
be
you
big.
would have as well. That's gonna be fun.
Yep. Yeah, that's be a fun episode.
Well,
All right,
we'll
guys.
also be getting eaten from behind, probably.
Giggity.
Giggity.
Special episode.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Let me know if the audio sounds a little bit better this week. I've been working on that,
Ooh.
and I would like to
Ooh.
know.
Hellos, no.
Hit me up on Twitter or whatever. But I am paying attention to
I
that.
mean, the yellow pages.
Yeah, I'm in the yellow pages under B.
Bye.
All right, thank you all. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.